I need that sports encyclopedia. Where you at, Steve Kim? Got Trent in the cut. Yeah. Where you at, man? In the gym shooting, I'm Durant. You ain't shooting John Moran.
Darnell is the Ball State legend. I'm the Warren Central High School legend.
I'm proving with a reliable source, straight from the mouth of the horse. Smitty and JB and Smitty from West Coast to Yost.
I love talking ball. It's nice to connect with guys that are like-minded and just are real and genuine.
Better stay in your lane. Hop into
you are fucking insane. Dude, what? You just will not give this guy his flowers. What is wrong with you?
Oh, you must have thought I was a bitch.
I am him. Use not it. What's the topic? With your logic when I flow. Big Komodo, how it's talking.
Gotta get back to letting the baby cry a little bit to see if they can soothe themselves.
That's a bar.
Issues get pressed so past it don't get sacked like bags and baggage. Smitty and Jason Brown killed it, yeah, it's a rap. We what the game's been missing, we switched it and filled the gap.
I identified him after his third fight, and I said that guy can be a star.
I'm so proud of the show, bro.
The gap, Smitty and Jason Brown.
Coach JB show.
Bitch. What up? We are in the building. It is Doc Talk Tuesday. Dr. Jesse Morse breaks down all things injury-prone, NFL, college, and etc. It is T-Rich Tuesday. Big-time, legendary Alabama star running back. And it is Star Week as Alabama takes on Georgia in an unprecedented Week 3 matchup, Week 4 matchup. Never usually happens this early. We're going to break that down with T-Rich. My sound off? Make sure I'm straight here. Bailey, I'm good? We got a lot going on, man, so appreciate it. We got a lot to dive into, though. It is Steve Kim joins us, the realest in Korean Kosel encyclopedia, as you know, will be on the show. We'll do our top 5, bottom 5, top of the world, bottom of the barrel, and all things brought to you by BetOnline, Prize Picks, and Winnable.com. Head on over there, /picks, and get your first down package today. Joe Burrow is cooked, and it started with how he entered the arena. Did you see what he was wearing? But what do I know? Josh Allen is cooking on all cylinders and takes a jab at Stephon Diggs. Woo, addition by subtraction. But what do I know? Patrick Mahomes is having the slowest start in his NFL career. But what do I know? Is this the Patrick Mahomes that he would be on any other team with average wideout talent around him? Uh-oh. Make it make sense. Trevor Lawrence, Deshaun Watson, Jalen Hurts, Dak Prescott, along with Tua and Jordan Love, all got paid this offseason. Y'all think it was really worth it after 3 weeks? But what do I know? Jaden Daniels, 91% completion percentage, no turnovers, 3 fourth-down conversions. But what do I know when I said he's the best rookie quarterback in the draft? Also, playing games matters. He played a lot of meaningful football games in college, didn't he? It's clearly helping him now. Let's dive into this show, man. Appreciate everybody joining us. Pound the like, subscribe, become a member. The NFL is a mockery and a joke. This lead-in may well as be a JB Daily rant because I'm probably going to drop some cuss words. The Chiefs' queendom strikes again as Derwin James has been suspended by the NFL. And this guy, who is a Michigan alum, an ex-Charger by the name of John Runyon, whose son played for Jim Harbaugh, who's been on this show, who's a friend of the show, good dude, good family, is the guy that suspended Derwin James. Make it make sense. Could it be personal? I don't know. But just trying to connect the dots here and making it make sense is all that I can do to begin the realest show on planet Earth. James was suspended for a hit in a gladiator sport that requires helmets and shoulder pads, and for the person and the people involved to be in great physical shape with great physical strength. Yet here we are in a very physical 10-10 ball game with the Pittsburgh Steelers in a black and blue slugfest. Mind you, it was 10-10 in a slugfest type of game, and this guy hit someone and suspended for a game. They say they suspended him because he had clear and present lane to hit someone and didn't stop. We're supposed to now not hit the person because we see ball hit ball? Make it make sense. Do we know what week it is, people? It's Kansas City Chiefs fucking Queendom week. How ironic. The Chargers' best defensive player, the captain of the back row, versus a Mahomes-led offense without Pacheco, who is struggling to get Kelsey the ball, get Kelsey involved, is now suspended. Who also is known to lock Kelsey down one-on-one in Derwin James. That's who. I don't care if the Chargers are 3-17 versus the Chiefs since 2014. This is a new team led by a new coach in a new year. But let me dive even deeper, okay? The fucking Chiefs have a guy named Rashee Rice on their team who was hit with 8 felony charges a week after meeting with police. 1 count aggravated assault, 1 count collision causing serious bodily injury, 6 counts of collision involving injuries and leaving the scene of a possible death. Yet this case remains open, and the NFL has allowed this fuck to play every game so far this year. But Derwin James is now suspended during the Chiefs week. Make it make fucking sense, people. Let's dive into this show, man. The Jaguars get fucking mollywopped on Monday Night Football by the Bills, and Josh Allen takes a shot at Stephon Diggs. Quiet as kept. We're going to dive into that. The Commanders, led by Jaden Daniels, take out Joe Burrow and the Bengals. Bengals go to 0-3 to start the season. Yet again, are the Bengals cooked? Utah State set to join the new Pac-12 as the 7th team. And the NFL suspends Chargers safety Derwin James for 1 game, repeatedly breaking player safety rules. Christian McCaffrey seeing a specialist in Germany for his Achilles tendonitis that landed him on IR September 14th, taking a page right out of Kobe Bryant's book. But before we begin, my co-host, Naptown legend and Far East Sider 317, LeBron Hairline Habit, LeBar Jackson loving AR5 defending, Caitlin Clark Johnson, Fox Sports, Big Smitty. Welcome, man.
What's going on, y'all, man? Your boy Big Smitty. Let me fix my camera, bring it down. Ooh, my skin is glowing right now. Today's a different day. The skin's like a goldish brown skin. Something got to do with the... What's going on with you?
My back.
Hey, homie, don't do that. Hey, when I'm doing my intro, don't distract the viewers when I'm doing my intro. You do that before I get on and do a commercial, but don't stretch your back and stand up doing all that. You got the
we got a limited time with our people. Our real guest is here. We're not worried about a co-host right now. We got our main guest in here right away at the gate, and then you'll have to come back and do your intro all over.
This guy could fix your back, contrary to belief.
I'm not a chiropractor. I got a chiropractor right here. This guy could do that thing, though. Let's get this guy in here, Dr. Jesse Morse, because we got a lot to talk about, Jesse. And Jesse, I got a beef to pick with you. First of all, I got a beef with your other homeboy that's going after you. I'm gonna handle that today. I got some people. I know some people, so we're gonna handle that. Don't worry about nothing, Smitty. You don't know. It's an inside thing to me and Doctor. We're gonna handle it. But listen, Doc.
My name Bennett.
Got to disagree with the hit on Devontae Smith. Yeah. Not a late hit. Wasn't a late hit. Wasn't illegal. Wasn't a targeting.
Wasn't dirty.
Wasn't dirty.
Was it necessary?
Hit. It was necessary, yes. Because guess why? Here's why. And I'll drop the mic. Devontae Smith did not stop his feet. And if he broke those tackles and scored, nobody'd be bitching.
So you're trying to say that he didn't stop, that forward progress hadn't stopped?
Yeah, because the whistle never blew. By the letter of the law, the whistle didn't blow by the refs. And Devontae Smith was trying to still continue his feet and get yak yards. And if we see it all the time, people spin out, make moves, they go down the sideline. Nobody would have said anything if he would have scored.
Do we have can you see that play? Here we go.
Yeah, look, feet never stop, Doc. Feet never stop. And that
Yeah,
hit is not, that hit's not in his helmet either, Doc. Here's the thing, Doc. I want to give to your audience because maybe later we'll clip a vertical and send it out. This man, first of all, if you're wearing pads and a helmet, and Smitty knows this, you get hit in the helmet, he get hit in the back shoulder plate, which is right where he got hit. If you slow it down, you'll see he didn't get hit in the hat. You got hit right here. And if you don't have your helmet buckled like he don't, because these prima donnas don't want to buckle their hats. When you hit that pad is strapped to your chest by buckles. It's all one piece. You get hit in that back plate moves up, hits your helmet, knocks it off because you don't have it strapped. So this is the things that Eric Weddle, Super Bowl champ, safety, we all broke this down yesterday. Look at his one strap's not buckled. This is all Devontae Smith. And this is the problem. We defend this stuff that the people out here who never played are like, oh, it's a bad hit. Jeff Nadu came on here and defended it too and said his take was these are called sometimes, not called this time.
I get that.
I agree. That's his defense. I agree with that. Kind of what you said. Consistency is bad. But listen, he's running his feet. He's trying to gain more yards. The whistle hadn't blown. There's no illegal hit there.
And real quick before you, because I know Doc's going to take over. Like, I didn't play in the NFL, of course, but I played football for a long time, played it at a high level. As a defensive player, we are taught to go through the whistle. If there's no whistle, this is literally our job. I shared a story yesterday of a situation where I had a teammate sacking what looked like he was sacking the QB. I'm in the backfield. I could easily finish him off and top him off. But instead, I pull up and I'm celebrating because I'm thinking my teammate has a sack. The quarterback did exactly what JB just alluded to, spins out of it somehow, broke the tackle, runs for a first down. I get killed during film time because I could have easily topped him off and finished the play. So I get from the visual what it looks like. You ask, was it necessary? It's football. Regardless if it's necessary or not, the whistle has been blown. As a D lineman, defensive player, period, if I have a chance to hit somebody, I'm hitting them.
I didn't know, Doc, this was a big thing because I hadn't seen it. I was doing all kind of shit. I didn't know this hit was viral on social media by all these different people. So Whitlock,
they were asking if it became a penalty, and I was like, I don't know.
Yeah, no.
You know, I saw it, happened to see it live. I'm like, oh boy, I mean, he's like my size. He's not a big dude.
No, he's not.
And I looked through his injury history. From what I can tell, he's never had a concussion. That's his first concussion. I mean, you know, we may see it happen in the future, or you know, maybe we didn't catch it. You know, high school or whatever. Sometimes you can't track all these things. But Alabama, usually they're pretty good with that stuff. Did not have any. He had other stuff. He's been really, really healthy. And, you know, we saw Trey McBride with a very similar kind of hit, a little bit more, but he actually kind of fell down and waited a little bit. They confirmed he was in a concussion protocol yesterday because they were saying, no, you know, it's not. If he pulled him out of the game, more often than not, he's going to be in the protocol.
Here's the issue that Jeff Nadu's take is. He thought it was dirty and all this shit because we've seen other calls. But Derwin James is suspended. Ironically, Chiefs week, they suspended him yesterday. Take a look at this hit and compare the two, and I'll break them down. We got this hit as well.
Ooh.
See.
Was that crowning? It's hard to tell. Yeah, it might have been.
To me, it's not, but this is what they're calling. Look, to me, Smitty and I probably would agree on this, and then we'll probably disagree on the actual time that we're playing.
I think part of it is because he's rotating his head to the left, so it almost looks like it hits him.
But that is a how to tackle a person. By definition, that is fucking form tackling 101. And
you know what? I'd like to see a different view from where, like spin it and bring it this way. And maybe all 22 can do it, or I don't know. I don't have that stuff.
I'll get that film tomorrow. That is a form tackle. Where to put your hat? Where to put because you got to understand the biomechanics of this thing is not talked about by referees who are half-ass half the time refs. This guy's hat never moved. Derwin James' hat never went up and never went down. The ball carrier's hat dropped. See, that's what people don't understand. How is this man making a hit on you and this other ball carrier moves his body and now we're supposed to adjust going 15 miles an hour wearing 10 pounds of gear? People don't want to break this shit down. It's an impossibility, Doc, as you know. For this
like right now, we're moving in slow motion, but like this is a boom. This is boom, boom. This is like
fucking boom, boom, boom. Like, come on, man.
I mean, and you know, if they appeal it, or they did appeal it, if they overturn it, then that tells you all you need to know. You know, boom, boom. Obviously, it looks like I would say dirty play. It looks like crowded, but it's not that classic, like literally leading with the top of the helmet, like the back in the day.
Yeah. And the whole world, the world created. I call it the world because all these soft cancel culture people out here will always, it's targeting. They're so quick, they have no idea what they're talking about. The targeting was originally created, Doc, as you remember, defenseless player was the original rule. When a guy spears you because you're in the air and you can't do anything with your body because it's not on the ground.
Right.
Nowadays it's targeting for everything. We got a guy got targeting for hitting a guy in the ass 2 weeks ago. Like, what are we doing? Now we're taking the rule and we're making it into a joke and a mockery, how I led the show off. But I don't agree with these. I don't know. I'm telling you right now, I would bet dollars to dimes Devontae Smith does not wear a mouthpiece and he didn't have his helmet strapped up. That's right there. Could have avoided the concussion because he didn't get hit in the hat. He got hit in the back, which jarred his jaw. I bet you his teeth go, And because he don't have a mouthpiece, quarterbacks know we got concussions because we hit the back of the turf.
That's one of the biggest pieces.
Biggest piece. I try to tell people, I used to do a clinic on this. Wear a mouthpiece. You'll could prevent damn near 90% of these concussions that we see at an all-time clip right now. I disagree with this whole thing. I think Devontae Smith could have avoided himself by wearing a mouthpiece and strapping his helmet up. And I think that was a football hit. It's not an egregious targeting in the back. That's football. That's a D lineman, what we call
he's a big dude, right?
Yeah, and he's a D tackle. It's a slip screen. So he's retracing. All he's doing is retracing, and that's what Big Smitty here had to be cut. We're tracing the screen. We're coming back down the line of scrimmage. That's exactly what it was.
And Devontae Smith was going backwards because the play was supposed to be going this way.
Because he's retracing. He was going this way. Yeah.
But
so,
you know,
I don't know. But
I mean, either way, you know, what does the data show for concussions? We'll kind of roll into that. So, and I've got a bunch of these questions because this is really our first two concussions that are relevant to guys right now. The data shows on average 80 to 85% will return within 10 days, 2 weeks, at most miss one game. I'd say 50-50 they will return in the first week. The two guys that were in question of Devonta Smith and Trey McBride both have a full week to potentially heal, meaning they're not playing on a short week. If they were playing on a short week, they would not be able to play because the timing, it just doesn't allow for it. It's a 5-day protocol. I'll rephrase that. It's a 5-step protocol. Each step is a minimum of 1 day. So you can't do step 1 and 2 on the same day. It has to be day 1, day 2, step 3. Okay, wait, step 4. And then if you do everything, step 5, and so on and so forth. We usually know by step 4, which is usually Thursday, if they're going to play. Rarely does a team who plays on Sunday practice on Saturday. I've heard the Cowboys do it, which is a separate discussion. But on Fridays, if you haven't done a full practice, you're usually not playing that Sunday. I've seen a couple rules bent and they cleared it. It's usually for a quarterback. It's usually for a weird thing. The Patriots did it once. But in general, if you do not have a full padded practice with hits on Friday, then you're not playing Sunday. That's a pretty standard rule in general. And the reason why we don't send people back to the field before the concussion clears is because of something called second impact syndrome. Second impact syndrome basically means that the brain stem in the brain itself is still not 100% healed from the first concussion, and is at higher risk of having a new concussion or a new, it's at higher risk for further injury. So if you sustain a new concussion, that brain stem can swell, which is kind of the base here, and that immediately usually causes death. So that's why it's such a big deal. That's why you kind of have to clear the first concussion. Yes, no symptoms, everything's back to normal, which it's not, but we'll say it is. And then, okay, you're good to go back. It's rare, but it technically can happen. And that's why it's such a big deal.
Is this what you're talking about right here, Bailey? Put it in. This is from the NFL's checklist
Yeah, I believe so.
This is a concussion game day checklist. So prior to game day is what you're saying, leading up to it, because we always used to have to give our kids the test, right? And I know that a lot of it's a joke and it's a mockery, because we used to tell the kids, don't score, don't go score all out, because they used to score like, actually be fine. It hurts them on the next time they have to do it. Like when they have to go through the protocol the second time, then they're saying, oh no, now your test score has to go even higher. So it's kind of a joke, man. I'm be honest with you.
There's a couple levels to it. When I used to do a lot of these, I don't do it anymore. It's just not not in my practice right now. But especially the high level guys, the pros. I mean, I would have to really test them because their balance is ridiculous. So I'd be putting them on foam boards and like just stuff that is very challenging unless you're an elite athlete.
Even if you're not onto concussion, right? Even if you're not a concussion, it's hard to do that.
Oh yeah. So that's what I'm saying. I mean, and it's not really. Yes, it's a memory thing. It's a scoring thing. It's a reaction thing. Thankfully, the times have changed where we don't just say, oh, it's just a concussion. I got my bell rung. It's not a big deal. Unfortunately, those smaller, concussions, quote unquote, are still problematic. They still cause problems. And with each one, they do have a tendency to stack for some people. And some people get lucky and it's like, it was just as easy as the first one. It'd be interesting to see how Tua's situation plays out. I don't know if there's a protocol. He's definitely not the guy who has the most concussions, but he definitely continues to have this fencing response. And I thought it was a little fascinating that they flew him to Seattle, which is 2,750 miles. Remember, I live in Miami, and obviously at a very hot, very loud place. I get why they probably wanted him there, and then they have to fly him all the way back. I mean, yes, I understand he's going to be out for a month.
I did a video on that same thing, and I'm like, I don't understand.
I think that was a little stupid per se. Just because if you're going to let him heal, then heal. I don't care if he was at Disney looking fine. In my opinion, he can look fine, but still have a lot of issues going on in that brainstem. The brain may still have persistent issues that we can't appreciate. Right. But yeah, long story short, I just thought it was fascinating. We'll see how that plays out. We saw how atrocious that offense was. Obviously, the offensive line is a hot mess as well. So I think they designed this offense and this with Tua in mind, obviously, and now they don't have him, and no one can really operate it the same way because they're just not as proficient in this offense that he is. We saw, a Skyler probably break a rib or something. We haven't said exactly. They called it a chest. My guess is a rib. We'll see if he's able to play or practice this week. They're playing down here on Monday night against the Titans, so we'll see how that plays out. And we might see Boyle again, or we might even see Huntley, who may actually be a better fit for this offense. But
today's
Tannehill,
Tuesday.
What are we doing here?
Today's Tuesday. This is the day they bring in guys. It's their off day. Teams will bring in guys. I wouldn't be shocked if they call the Carolina Panthers about Bryce Young. I wouldn't be shocked if Russell Wilson gets involved in a trade. I wouldn't get shocked if they brought in Tannehill for a quick fix. There's got to be a fix there. There's no way that they paid this much money to a guy to not be available and make Jalen Ramsey another guy that's highest paid guy. And now we're going to just shit the bed and say, oh, it's over. Season's done.
Tyreek, Waddle, H.M.
There's just no way you cannot bring
the defense looks good. From what I could tell, they've been holding down the fort. I mean, they have guys that are not even fully healthy. Long looks good.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, without a quarterback, they're just sitting ducks. And Seattle had the advantage of obviously their 12th man, and they look pretty good. But that should have been a way more competitive game if they had a decent QB.
For sure.
But it is what it is. Some big injuries heading into this week. We saw T. Higgins come back last night, missed a couple plays. I think the timing was off. His footwork was a little out of bounds a couple times. So we saw Jamar Chase look incredible last night. As per usual, I was kind of expecting him to break out.
As expected, JB.
Burrow looks beautiful. That wrist looks good. The hair color, different story, but separate topic for a separate day.
His intro was why they lost.
But tell me about Jaden Daniels.
Woo!
I
I told JB he didn't want to listen.
That kid, that ball, that last ball.
Yeah. That fade ball.
Beautiful.
Beautiful. Yeah.
I mean, he just looked like and I was like,
but even beyond that, just the way he ran the offense. You know what I'm saying? It's like
he's well beyond his years.
Yeah. I mean, the thing is, Doc, like I said, he's the best rookie in this draft. I called it 8 months ago.
And shout out to Cliff Kingsbury too. I know we give him a lot of hell, but I think his system works well for Jay. Like it meshes well.
And now the Bengals are going to 0-3, right? 0-3.
Yeah.
He's pretty hard to make the playoffs 0-3.
Doc, I truly believe this, Doc. And Shaun King and I both said Jayden Daniels is by far the best rookie in this class. It matters when you play college games. It matters when you play meaningful games, not only for injury purposes because of the rigor and the callous that it takes to develop and take that and understand it, but also just the experience factor. And guess what? He played a couple preseason games too, didn't he? There's a difference, man. I'm telling you. It's not rocket science. Look at Caleb Williams and look at Jayden Daniels. And by the way, you traded to get Caleb Williams on your roster and get him a receiver instead of an old lineman like Joe Alt. And look at what's happening. And look at Justin Fields sitting at 3-0.
Yeah, I mean, they look good. Both of their running backs are injured, so it'll be interesting to see how that plays out this week. We saw that Jaylen Warren is getting an MRI probably yesterday on his knee. We'll see what that shows today. And then we saw today, or also yesterday, Najee Harris popped up with a sling on. I believe it's his left arm. I don't know which side it was. And he's never missed an NFL game due to injury. So we'll see how that plays out. We might be talking about Cordero Patterson running the offense, or maybe even Justin Fields doing a little bit more running. Maybe they do a little Russell Wilson, Justin Fields kind of combo. That'd be kind of cool. But they continue to win. At the end of the day, that's all that matters. It's not pretty. It's not. But hey, and their defense looking good.
Hey, Doc,
what's going on?
Go ahead, Smitty.
I'm gonna ask you real quick about another name. What's going on with Myles Garrett in his feet? I saw that he had a pass rush Sunday and he pulled up and left the game because of his feet. So have you heard any updates on that?
Yeah, they apparently did MRIs. I'm assuming it was on both feet, but I don't know if it's just one or two. But they said they were normal. Now, their normal and my normal are two completely different things. Their normal meaning there's nothing surgically that needs to be done. That's the way I interpreted they describing it as normal. I promise you that was not normal. When I say normal, there's a lot of things on the MRI that I would read into that the public would be like, oh, there's nothing to do surgery on. Okay, fine. But that doesn't mean there's not things to address. Right. Now, this is an elite athlete that is expected to rush, 15, 20, 30 times a game, whatever. I don't know exactly what he's dealing with. Is it a myelus, Frank? Is it a turf toe? Does he have bad plantar fasciitis? There's a bunch of different options here. But obviously it's bothered.
Right.
Obviously he's not as effective. I haven't seen his stats, but I know, that if he's dealing with it this much, he can't be 50, 60, 70% of what he should be. So did he shut him down for a little bit to get him healed up? Does he just continue playing at 50% or whatever it is and make the injury worse? Probably. I'm hoping for more information, but it's not, for such an elite player, it's unfortunate to see him when he's just not at 100%.
No, for sure, man, for sure.
Yeah.
I know we saw another line. Go ahead, JB, jump in.
No, I was talking about Burrow because you mentioned you think he's healthy as wrist. I'm watching him, and I got a different quarterback eye. He does not throw a spiral anymore. If anyone out there is noticing, as a quarterback guy, he used to throw a very, very tight ball, which is a lot easier.
He doesn't throw anymore.
Plus, it's easier trajectory when the ball spins and cuts wind. Being a spiral, obviously, there's more on it too. When you flutter a ball out there, the wind catches that flutter and it dies out. Your arm strength looks weaker, and it could be because of the wrist. I'm looking at everything you threw last night, and everything's coming out wobbly as shit, and it's not being deflected. There's clear lanes. And I'm wondering if that wrist is an issue.
It could be. Better. I mean, as I said,
it was accurate though, JB.
It was
I'll tell you that
much. Accurate, but
because he knows where he's going.
Right.
He knows where he's going with the football. He's going to be at. You can throw a duck accurately.
Hey, Manny used to do it.
It ain't the normal tight spiral that Burrow usually throws. And I'm thinking,
I mean, maybe you could do a cut up of last year or 2 years ago and say, hey, here's his normal beautiful pass, or do a bomb to chase like we saw last night, at least once or twice. I don't know what the second one looked like, but and say, hey, they're going to say it's nothing, but maybe 0-3. I don't think that plays a significant role. He's looked really, at least put the ball where he wanted to go.
Yeah.
But nonetheless, it at least should be discussed. Remember what I was talking about before the season was this surgery's never been performed, as far as we know, on an NFL quarterback and who's returned. So we don't have any data to support what the impact of this is. 80% chance he's fine, but we don't know. We can't. It's not something you can speculate on. We can pull the data after the fact and say, yeah, he looked okay, or no, it did impact him, and it is what it is. There's not a whole lot he can do anyway. But nonetheless, I think it should be at least reviewed, especially for how much money he's owed and how important he is to the team and to the league, I guess you'd say.
Yeah.
We saw Bengals lineman went down. Was it Trent Brown, if I'm not mistaken? The tackle went down with a knee situation.
Non-contact, and they automatically ruled out. Usually a bad combo.
Oh, man.
What about Joe Alt?
Suffered an MCL. I think I have my knee model in here. MCL sprain, which is that ligament that runs north to south on the inside of the knee. Rashawn Slater with a pec strain. I believe I saw, just where they're two top guys, right? And now we saw Justin Herbert re-injure that high ankle sprain. That was the nature of rolling the dice when you decided to play him on a short week. Now they're playing your favorite, the Chiefs, which should be probably a massacre at this point, because I have a feeling that Heineke's going to play. They're going to have at least two backup linemen, because neither Alt or Slater are going to play. They have a bye week the following week, so it's stupid.
No Derwin James, so Kelsey's probably going to have his breakout game.
Yeah, I mean, so we're going to, the Chiefs don't look very good, compared to what I thought they were going to look like. Worthy. Rice is on a freaking different planet right now. Okay, he's playing out of his mind. Kelsey, anybody seen Kelsey? Like, they still owe him a lot of money. I haven't seen the deep data to support. He's still running the same amount of routes. He's just not getting thrown the ball. Is it a separation issue? I need to look into that.
Pfizer has it. Pfizer has all the data on it.
That very well may be the case. But at the same time, Hollywood's out. They lost Pacheco for at least a month, probably closer to 2 months.
But they got Carson Steele, Ball State guy, so they'll be all right.
That kid, he looked pretty good. He got a lot of volume. Kareem looked okay. I mean, so it'll be interesting to see how it plays out. And then Juju stole a touchdown from Rice. That was kind of funny. But one of the things I wanted to cover before I left was, I think AJ Brown will be back this week. I think Evan Ingram has a chance to be back this week. Man, do they look awful. And I think, I think it's important to talk about why McCaffrey went to Germany.
Ooh, break it down.
Yeah, break it down. Is that what Kobe Bryant did?
Yeah, twice that we know of. Probably like 5 times if I were to guess, because usually they use in sets of 3.
All right, break that down.
I did a video last night on it. I was going to drop it this morning, but I said, you know what? There's too many people that are questioning this, so I put it out last night. When I saw this pop up, I said, oh boy. So to give you context, most people think I'm just a sports med doc, which technically is the case. But I'm not just a regular sports med doc that does your steroid injections and does your cortisone, your gel injections and preps people for surgery and does concussions and fractures and whatnot. No. My specialty is stem cells. Okay, that's literally what I do all day, every day. I give lectures at stem cell conferences. Okay, this is literally my niche. There's only a couple people in the country that can say that. So when I heard that McCaffrey went to Germany, you don't go to Germany in the middle of a season if your injury is straightforward. All right, think about that. It's Saturday in week 3. You're on IR and you're sitting for a flight waiting for Munich.
Yeah.
Okay, like something's not normal here. They have all of the imaging in the United States you need to evaluate this. This is not an advanced imaging issue. This is what can I treat this with and get back this year, in my opinion. Now, I've never treated him, but I know someone who has. I haven't talked to him about this situation, but I know what that physician uses. And it's not anything that would get him back on the field this year. I use stuff that would get him back, but that's a separate topic. My suspicion is McCaffrey went to Germany to get a type of stem cells that are not inflammatory, super potent, legal, and would allow him to potentially return this year. This is likely what Kobe did, but it's going to be a stronger version because it's been 10, 12 years since that happened at least. And they are going to do what they cannot make this tendon like when he was 15 years old. That's not possible. And that's okay. The problem is this tendon is frayed, this tendon is weak, and this tendon has a significant increased risk for rupture.
So like
we're talking about an area of about 6 inches or so. Okay, really about 3 inches, but we'll just, to make it easy, 6 inches. So what can they inject in this area that is not only going to improve the quality, the strength, and the tensile strength of that tendon, but also not cause a lot of inflammation so that he can potentially burn in 3-4 weeks? That's the tricky part. I do not do these in series of 1. I do these in series of 3 because it's very difficult to treat this one time and get the strength that you're looking for. So,
did A-Rod do this? Did A-Rod or Cousins do any of this?
Yes, they did. I both can and Tyreek Hill did this too, and not for his Achilles, for his knee. But the problem is the timing is not ideal. The issue is you're asking a running back with a ton of mileage on him to get this thing healed up, to do significantly better, and come back in a month and then run regular volume. I have no idea how this is going to play out. Zero.
Doc, since his second year, this is just kind of par for the course. Since his second year in the league, it's been every other year. He's out. Like, let's look at the history.
He had a monster 2019. 2020 fell flat in his face. 2021 flat in his face. 2022 came back, looked good, got traded to the 49ers, finished strong. Last year, freaking incredible. But remember,
took a lot
the running backs that they do now are not the running backs from 20 years ago.
Right.
These guys do not handle 400 touches anymore.
Yep.
And he had finished with 417 touches, including the playoffs. Remember, they did go all the way, so that does play a role.
Yeah.
You didn't shut it down in freaking December, even though he missed the last game of the season with a calf injury. So, and then he gets married. He does all this important stuff in the offseason. But then when it's time to ramp up, he strains his calf. Now they start talking about Achilles late. We don't know how long that's been going on, but they didn't tell us until basically the day or two before the season. And now we're a month out from that, give or take, and he's in Germany trying to figure out what to do. I get the 49ers stance, and they have probably one of the top medical staffs in the country with Trash and them available to them. But with that being said, like, if you told me that he's done for the year, I would not be surprised at all. It wouldn't surprise me at all. If you told me that his career might be over, it would not surprise me at all.
Oh,
because
career over.
I'm with you though.
And I'm not trying to scare people. I'm just telling you, Achilles tears in running backs. That's it. Like, we've seen Akers. Okay. James Robinson. Anybody seen him? We've seen J.K. Dobbins looks pretty good, but can he sustain that? Donta Foreman is more of a plotter and took 4 years to come back. Marlon Mack tore his twice.
Kirk Cousins
the last
looked
time
like
we have a
Kirk
good.
Cousins looked like a year. He missed a year after the second week. He looked good, and then the third week he looks like he looked 2 years ago again, like slow.
But not only that, those are quarterbacks.
Yeah, not mobile guys either.
I'm talking about someone that needs to plant their foot, cut 20, 30 times. And the problem with that tendon is it needs tensile strength. It needs to be taught. Once it starts loosening, that's it. You can't get that same explosiveness, and that's what they feel. And that's why you see Akers spinning a lot, because he can't burst, so he has to like juke, And he looked okay. I mean, but he's done it twice. He's done it, poor kid. But
Hey, any update as you get out of here today? I appreciate you coming out. Any update on Bradley Chubb and because I'm pretty sure they're going to cut Deshaun Watson any day now. Are they going to be able to run the football with Bradley Chubb?
Nick Chubb?
Nick Chubb.
Nick Chubb, sorry.
Nick Chubb I would love to know what's going on with it. I tweeted yesterday they should start Jameis Winston, you cowards. If it wasn't a money issue or a visual issue, I think it would have already happened. Nick Chubb, so let's briefly review this because this is kind of crazy. So the issue with Nick Chubb is, first of all, we haven't heard anything in about a month at least. They're probably closer to 2 months. Chubb is one of the best running backs in the past 20 years. But he's not a receiver, so that kind of limits him in situational football. He injured his knee significantly when he was at Georgia. By the grace of God, he didn't tear his ACL. I'm still not sure how. But he had several things repaired that time. Last year, he had that unbelievable, crazy injury, almost a year to the day. And now he tore many of those things he had repaired. He needed a two-stage approach, two-stage revision. He had to fix his MCL and capsule and a bunch of other stuff. Then they waited about 6 weeks, and then they reconstructed his ACL.
Damn.
So the time that starts is from the second surgery. So that's still another month or 6 weeks away. Being as complicated as it is, this is not something that you just come back from and look like nothing ever happened. Remember, Breece Hall, when he did it last year, had a relatively straightforward ACL, and he still struggled a little bit in the first month, and he's, 23, somewhere on there, whereas Chubb's, closer to 29, with a lot more volume on him. And yes, you can run, you can squat 500 pounds, whatever he's doing, but you can't cut. And that's the problem with him. That's why I don't think we've seen him yet. I'm curious to see when they decide to bring him back. Is it closer to week 10 or is it closer to week 5? I don't know.
Doc,
same question for Jonathan Brooks, who's obviously a young, healthier version probably of Chubb.
Yeah. As you leave today, will the Packers be at full strength, meaning Jordan Love against the undefeated Vikings this week?
It's going to be a good question.
I mean, we can check on Friday with you if you get. I give you more time, and maybe it'll come out by then as well. But
he could play this week, and I'd be okay with it. Willis looks good. They're notoriously conservative, so unless they've changed medical staffs, could he play this week and be relatively safe? Yes. Could he benefit from another week? Yes. So it just depends on how good he's going to practice in limited capacity today, reportedly, or whenever they practice, probably tomorrow. If he is able to ramp up to full strength this week, I think he plays. But if he's still limited on Thursday and Friday, I think they hold him out again. They're playing with they're playing
early.
Yeah, they lost the first game of the season, but they look really good. And
they're playing well.
It's amazing what coaching can do, right? I mean,
Josh Jacobs, the defense, they're looking good. They're looking pretty good. Here, Joe Mixon, any update as you get out of here? Sorry.
My concern is this is either a bad medial ankle, inner ankle, which is bad, or a high ankle. So I think it's going to take a couple of weeks. We didn't practice at all this week, which wasn't surprising to me. But I think if he gets on the practice field this week, it's good. But if he doesn't get on the practice field, it's going to be at least another week or two. And Devian Pierce is with a hammy, so it may be another Akers game.
Yeah. Damn. Well, Doc, as always, pleasure. I'll hit you up later on, and we'll see you on Friday, hopefully.
Appreciate you, Doc. You have a good one.
All right, brother. Hey, Smitty, it's a back-to-back show. We got Alabama legend coming in here in a minute because it is Bama, Georgia week. What other live show has a legendary Bama player to talk
I can't name one.
Talk about that rivalry, but we haven't even given you the quote of the day.
We got to do quote of the day before we do anything. I don't care what we do today. Quote of the day is a must.
Let's rank it. We got a lot going on, and we got a poll question and a contrary to belief. Quote of the day brought to you by Prize Picks and Bet Online and Winnable and everybody else.
First round performance.
Skybox, Favre Energy, everybody. But quote of the day brought to you by betonline.ag. Head on over to BetOnline today and use the promo code BELIEVE, BLEAV, and get you 50% off plus welcome bonus. Quote of the day: the wind howls, but the mountains stay still. Any of you even understand it? I don't think anybody on TikTok gets it. I don't think anybody in the chat gets it. The wind howls because we do a lot of barking and no biting. But the mountain stays still because solid as a rock the long way. Then I put the rubber on the wrong way. Then the nut came gushing. Got up and started pushing. Then I thought the bitch broke my dick because I was still young doing dumb shit. Anyway, let's dive in.
Hey, 10 toes. I like that. 10 toes down.
Yeah. Contrary to belief.
right there.
Contrary to belief, brought to you by Prize Picks. Head on over to Prize Picks. Use the promo code CoachJB. Woo-hoo, I could be an auctioneer around this motherfucker. Making your children's lives easier is not helping them. It's handicapping them.
Damn.
Contrary to belief.
Damn.
Remember, Smitty. Remember real quick.
It's balanced.
Remember real quick. There's wolves and there's sheep. And when you're raising a sheep, you got to coddle them and carry them and nurture them every single fucking day. You can't let the sheep leave the hen house because guess what? The big bad wolf will eat it. Wolves figure it out. Wolves find a way to go eat. Stop raising your children to be sheep, people. We need more wolves. I'm tired of the sheep. Go create some fucking wolves. Stop coddling your kids. Stop making these boys turn into beta females. I'm so tired of seeing it. God damn. Poll question, Smitty. Let's dive into it before T-Rich jumps in. Is this the real Patrick Mahomes we are witnessing this year? The real Patrick Mahomes. Let me explain. You guys drop it in the chat. Smitty will debate it. I believe this is the Patrick Mahomes you would see if he got drafted by the Bears, if he got drafted by the Colts, if he got drafted by the Browns back in the day. I think this is the Patrick Mahomes that you would have seen. And guess what? I also think if they would have took Deshaun Watson ahead of Patrick Mahomes in that 17 draft, I would have loved to see Andy Reid and Deshaun Watson when his head was clear. Because, again, proving my point, this guy is the Chiefs' Queendom's savior. And I'm telling you, look at the crew around him this year. It's mid. Besides game one, Xavier Worthy hasn't got off press in 2 weeks. What I know. Travis Kelce's a non-factor because they have no other wideouts besides the shitbird Rashee Rice, who's still playing. Ironically. They have no other wideout crew, though, Smitty. So guess what? If it's just one guy, you can double Kelce. And look what? Where's Kelce gone? Will Kelce show up in the playoffs? Maybe. Who knows? But I'm just telling you, this is the team that if he would have got drafted early on by a mediocre club, this is the Patrick Mahomes I've been telling you for 5 years would be him. This is the guy. This is by far his lowest stat output numbers in his career so far. And look at his roster. And the last time I checked, Freddie Mac, they are 3-0. 2 games at home, 1 against the Falcons. Good job. You're 3-0. Hey, keep winning. They got 3 Super Bowls too. I'm not going to say nothing. All I'm telling you is 2 things can be true, Freddie Mac. Fucking genius. He could have went to the Bears. You think he would be Taylor? You still think he'd be Patrick Mahomes? No, I think he'd be his brother.
So listen, I don't think this year so far is a representation of who he truly is, but I also don't think that 50 touchdown year or that 41 touchdown year is a representation of who he is. I think last season, 27 touchdowns, 14 picks. I think that ballpark of like a 30 touchdown, 10, 11 picks guy is who he truly is. But at the end of the day, just win, baby, just win. And he's won at a high clip and continues to win, playing the way that he's playing. So it's like in this league, in the way that he's playing, if it leads to Super Bowls, then it's like, why does it ultimately matter? My comment and why I brought up yesterday was when I watched him play, though, it does not feel the same way as when I watched Tom Brady play. And the reason why I bring up Tom Brady is because that's who we're comparing him to. We're comparing him to the greatest of all time. A lot of people have him in your Mount Rushmore already as a top 4 QB of all time because of the winning, because of the highlight plays. But when I watched the full totality of the games today and I watched Mahomes play, I don't get that feeling like, damn, this guy is lethal. I don't feel that way. Now, does he make plays at the right time? Yes, I do get that similar kind of feel. It's like, damn, it seems like whenever the Chiefs just need a play, it's either A, Mahomes is doing it, or B, the rest is helping out, or a combination of both. But it seems to go in their favor. Put it like that. I do get that feeling. But the actual just totality of the game and just driving down the field, dig route, seam route, making the timely throw, just running the offense at just like a high clip, I'm not getting that same feeling right now. And when you're comparing him to the greatest of all time, I think we have to just kind of remove our emotions for a second and really use our eyes, because your eyes do work, and pay attention to what you're saying. And like, listen, he's good. I'm not saying he's not good, but it's not the same. And when you're putting him at the same standard as the greatest to ever do it, let's be real. It don't look the same as Peyton Manning and how he ran his offense. It don't look the same to me even as like a Drew Brees who again, very efficient, will take the check down throw, will take what the defense gave him. But even with Drew Brees, it's the flow of the offense. I'm not seeing that no more, JB.
I never have seen it. I've never seen a motherfucker throw big time throw after throw into the teeth of the coverage in an era where you could actually get hit in the mouth. I only saw him play against Tom Brady twice, and he lost both times.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to figure out how.
In all fairness, I know that first loss. I mean, damn. I mean, I'm just saying your defensive end jumped off sides and game.
Well, we can say that about every Super Bowl Mahomes has won.
I hear you, but like you remember that play though. Like you as a coach, that's a dumbass play.
Take the punt return away. The Chiefs lose the Super Bowl.
But that's different though.
I'm just saying. It's all relative.
You play
all relative. It's all relative.
A punt return and jumping off sides in that situation is not the same. Like punt return is a skill. Like I actually did it.
Yeah. But the bottom line is it saved the quarterback. It still saved the quarterback is the bottom line. We go back to the full circle. It saved Patrick Mahomes. It saved Tom Brady, Tuckgate, whatever.
Oh, yeah.
We can say that about all these guys. That's my point. That's all I'm saying. Patrick Mahomes has been saved in 3 Super Bowls, and in 3 of his 4, he threw for under 200 yards. It's not like he was out there throwing for 450 and losing. Like, this guy has been pretty mid, to be honest, but he's a winner. He's a winner. And I think he's in a gimmicky offense that creates a scheme to thrive and make him better than he is. And I've been saying it for 5 years. I'm the only guy that'll say it. It is what it is. I'm going to stand on it because I'm going to die living on my business, standing on my business, not on your business to all you fuckers that bag groceries and going to tell me what film looks like. Smitty, before T-Rich, he's having some camera issues. He's going to be in here in a second.
Yep.
I started the show off with basically a deep dive into a bunch of different things. And it was basically the performance last night we witnessed with Jaden Daniels. We talked about with Shaun King all the time. But here's my take. I wanted to ask you this. Trevor Lawrence, Deshaun Watson, Jalen Hurts, Dak Prescott, Tua, and Jordan Love, who's hurt. We don't know really how good Jordan Love is in his second year of consistency, as I talk about. But they paid him. And all those other guys I just mentioned, they paid. None of them are playing well. And one of them's not playing at all. Deshaun Watson may not play at all, and he took 8 sacks last week. And Daniel Jones, who started off horribly on this season, I had to do 2 baby Jesus prayers, is starting to come around and look like he's getting more comfortable with a certain somebody named Malik Neighbors, who may be the best rookie wideout in this class. So where are you at? Where are you at with those quarterbacks that I mentioned that are paid? Trevor Lawrence, Deshaun Watson, Jalen Hurts, Dak Prescott, Tua, and Jordan Love. I believe it's a big overpayment through 3 weeks because guess what? I don't see the return. And when are the NFL teams going to say, you know what? We got to get something back from some of this shit or we're going to decimate our roster. Like that, I just don't see how these rosters are going to continue.
I mean, I think Dak is fine. I think Jordan Love got hurt. I mean, like it's just football. But he still got paid. I can't blame Jordan Love on being hurt.
Yeah, I know, I get it. I only brought up the guys that actually got paid this offseason.
Yeah, I got you. I think half those guys, is played bad. Other half, I mean, I'm not mad about it. I don't think Dak has looked horrible.
I think
even you watch the back half of that Cowboys game. I mean, they came back because of Dak's throws and his play. So I'm not really concerned about Dak. I'm not concerned about Jordan Love. I am concerned about Trevor Lawrence. I'm concerned about Trevor Lawrence. I told y'all before the season, I told D. Jones at least specifically to his face verbally through here that they were bad. And he was an average quarterback, but he didn't believe me. And now they're sitting there in the AFC South, one of the weakest divisions, at 0-3 at the bottom of the other division. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not really surprised about that. But if I'm a Jaguars fan or if I paid him $55 million, I am concerned. Tua, I'm concerned because of I mean, it's obvious. He might not play again. So, that's something that they should have considered when they were paying him because it's not like this concussion was like something new. We saw what we saw before he got paid. So that should have went into the back of their heads to where I understand you're going to keep him and his rookie deal is up. You got to pay him something. but maybe you find a way to where you protect yourself within that. I don't know how, but you guys know how to do business. You figure that out. So, I mean, listen, some of these guys I am concerned for because either their play or their injury history. But the other half, I just think it's too early to be like, oh, my gosh, this is what it is. I just think every year the NFL season starts off a certain way. There's certain teams that's balling that ends the season and end up being average. You're not a believer in Derek Carr and the Saints. And they looked great up until this last week. So you just never know until you know. I think I need more weeks to really lay out on the table what's what. But at the end of the day, man, like if guys has earned their pay either due to their performance during their previous deal and or what the market states, as a player person, you know me, I'm always say get your money. But I will say this, though. You go out there and prove me right, though, too. Like, if I'm defending you to get your money, go out there and ball out. That's why I was happy to see. I know Jamar didn't get paid yet, but I know me and you kind of disagree on Jamar Chase's antics, so to speak, during this offseason, this camp. But I was happy to see him ball out last night because that's the Jamar Chase that I know. Either way,
look at this throw last night. This right here, I want to break this throw down by Trevor Lawrence.
Break it down. Open up, drop back, boom. He just let it sail.
Pause it right there. Right there. First of all, let's break this down.
It's his feet, ain't it?
I don't know who's coaching him or not, but we don't get our base outside of our shoulders.
Right. Yeah.
If my base is outside my shoulders, there's no way for me to reset my feet to get them back to my shoulders, step, and throw accurately. Look at where he's at. His feet are fucking 4 feet apart. So now I got to bring them together, Smitty, then recoil, step, and drag to make an accurate throw. Right now, he's too wide from the gate. He's settling too wide. So guess what it does? If you show it, Bailey, what it does is, right there, what it does is now he's so wide. Guess what happens? When you're this wide, look at my body. Where does that arm go and that ball go?
Kind of
high.
High. Yeah.
Elbows low. Drops his back. His body weight is not socking the wall forward like a boxer should. I need to sock and transfer my weight. I used to call it transfer my weight. Transfer my weight downwards. That puts the ball, what we call this finger right here, supinate and pronate are two terms. He's supinating right now. If you know anything about it, supinate is when your pinky goes up. Pronate is when your thumb goes down.
You're a bad boy.
He is not pronating, Smitty. He needs to pronate and get this hand down. The ball will go down. Horrible mechanics. 12-yard overthrow to a guy that in Hamlin, who's now all of a sudden making moves. So
do you think again, this is me just being ignorant to the quarterback position. Is your base is going to be different depending on like your height though too, right? Like how you're shaped. Like Jalen Hurts' base ain't going to be the same as Trevor Lawrence's base or a Josh Allen base. Am I right in saying that, or you're saying it don't matter how tall you are, it don't matter. Your feet should be this a certain way.
No matter how tall you are or short you are, if your feet are too wide and you drop your elbow, it doesn't matter if you're 6'8", like old Dan McGuire, Mark McGuire's brother who played at San Diego State and in the NFL, or if you're Kyler Murray. The ball's still going to go upwards when you drop your elbow and have a wide base. Your shoulders and your feet should always align.
Got you.
So he's outside of his frame. You can't do it. Smitty, if I'm boxing, I used to do this to train my coach, my quarterback.
Slip.
When you're boxing somebody or fighting somebody, my feet can't get too wide, and now I'm never going to be able to recoil.
No power. Yeah.
So I got to keep my feet under my shoulders, always moving, right? I'm ready to box you, or I'm ready to throw. What's the difference right here? Boxing.
Same motion. Yeah.
Throwing. Boxing. Throwing.
Do it again one more time.
No, there's no difference. I'm tired. So there's no difference. There's no difference. So.
Hey, Bailey, please clip that, Bailey, and put it. If Bailey, please, I will pay you some money. Please clip it and make it what's it called, repeatable, like it just keep going. Turn that into a matter of fact. Just send it to me. I'll do it. I'll make it to a GIF. That's some funny shit what we just saw. Please, Bailey, write the time code down, please, brother. That's hilarious.
I do got hands, by the way, if anyone want to notice, and they're not just boxing hands. I know.
Look, everybody, it's a coach. Look. Coach got hands.
Oh, man, you don't even know. Anyway.
You got to pronate. What's it called?
Pronate.
You got to pronate. You got to pronate that thing. So it's pronate. And what's the other one? Sonate?
Supinate.
Pronate and supinate. I like supinate. Pronate and supinate.
No, you don't like supinate. Quarterbacks don't want to be supinators.
They'll never be a supinator. Okay. Be a pronator. Never be a supinator.
Pronate.
So pronate.
Down.
Pronate, pinky down.
No, pronate, thumb down.
Pronate, thumb down.
Supinate, pinky up.
Supinate, pinky up.
Thumb up.
Thumb up.
You don't want that. That's hang loose.
Y'all be supinating in the bedroom. I'm going to leave it at that. You got to pronate that thing.
Yeah, I don't. Hey, by the way, a schedule change. So we got a few time to breathe. It'd be better since it is Bama Georgia week to bring T-Rich on after Steve Kim today to get him for a longer period of time.
Makes sense.
So I made that production move real quick.
Shout out to you.
Shout out to Bailey for being a producer, but I had to make an executive decision on that.
Yeah.
And because his camera's not working either, so we can't get him in. But he'll be on. He'll be on after Steve Kim. So we got a little bit of time here to get into some topics that Bailey's souped up for us.
Can't get right.
Yeah, we'll do our top fives and bottom fives with Steve or whatever Bailey wants to do. But I know that I was just breaking that. I wanted to ask you that question just because we got a lot of guys out there right now that I'm looking at that are overpaid to me. And Dak Prescott, Dak Prescott getting $60 million a year to do what, Smitty? Like that's that we need to break that down this week. And tomorrow in the studio, if you didn't notice, we're not in the studio. I got some things that popped up. We'll be in the studio tomorrow on Thursday. But tomorrow we're going to give our breakdown on our top five and bottom of the barrel, top of the world NFL performances of the week. Today we'll do our college since we didn't get to it yesterday because of the loaded show that we just had back-to-back guests on. Today we'll get to that with Steve Kim. But I'm just giving you guys a little schedule update. But go ahead on over to Skybox, skybox.com, and get you a ticker for your man cave, for your coaching office, for whatever you want to do. Go get you a Skybox ticker. Use the promo code CoachJB. Get you 10% off right now. And we're going to do an ad read for it. Smitty and I are going to do a commercial in the studio tomorrow. And then firstroundperformance.com. Head on over there as well. We'll be showing you the merch.
Some nice products, man. Some nice
They
gear.
do have some quality shit. It ain't no bullshit. It's elite. It's elite as elite gets. It's elite as rowing the boat. It's elite as capri pants. It's elite as that guy squatting down on the sideline in Minnesota. It's elite. So
capital E.
Throwing that out there. All right, Smitty, where we at? You want to take a break?
Yeah, we're back. Monday Night Football, man. We ain't dove into it yet. Just kind of gotta get your reaction, kind of recap to both games. Obviously, the Bills dominated the Jags, and then the Commanders, surprisingly to a lot of people, took out the Bengals in a surprise victory. Let's start with the Jags, man. Let's start with the Bills and Jags game. From the get-go, man, the Bills just took over the game right off the bat. And man, to me, I'll give my take. The Bills look like a true Super Bowl contender. And I got to give you a little bit of credit.
What do I know?
I got to give you some credit. You said, what's the phrase you always say?
Addition by subtraction.
Addition by subtraction. And to me, that's not even a shot at Stephon Diggs because up until last week, the Texans have been rolling too. I think it was kind of a win-win for both scenarios. But the Bills seem to be playing with this sense of freedom. Josh Allen doesn't feel like he has to go force the ball to any which player. Everybody's just like cool with the receptions they get. You got the running back in James Cook looking like a top running back in the game, the best I've ever seen him. And then shout out to Von Miller, because I'm going to be real. I'm a real one. I thought he was done. I thought he had his last injury. He played a little bit last year. He didn't look he was kind of out of shape. He didn't have the same bend. This man has recorded a sack in every single game this season, and he looks good. I'm not saying he's the Von Miller of the Broncos, but he has a lot left in the tank. He's a true player on this team. They look scary.
Let me ask. I know Jeff Nadu's in the chat. Fuck with people. Jeff, I know the odds on him because I'm going to bet Josh Allen on MVP.
Yeah.
Well, I bet him last week already. I think it was 600. I'm not sure.
I should have bet last week on him.
But it's going to change, obviously, week to week. But I'm going to bet Josh Allen wins the MVP. I said it before the season started that he'll be the MVP because he'll live with a much stress-free environment around him, and that's his team now. Yeah. He doesn't have to answer to nobody. There's a clip out there, Bailey, if you can find it, of him yesterday on the press conference saying that this is a team that rides or die together. We're not worried about stats. Bailey, if you can find that soundbite, we'll show it. But let me give you let me also be devil's advocate here. Yeah, see, I got it at 600. Now it's 250. It's plus 250 because every week's gonna go down.
Hopefully next week he play a little bad. I'll get back on.
Let me ask you this. He's the favorite now to win it. So let me ask you this. The Bills do this every year, dog. I hate to burst everybody's bubble. They're always this team. They're always the favorite to win the Super Bowl. They're always this and that.
It's different this year, JB. It's different. It's different.
That's my take. This is why I'm telling you before the season what I thought it would be. This is a different Bills team. Addition by subtraction is a real thing. They are not as talented on the edge. Not anywhere near shape or form. But guess what it does? It makes this guy prove to you that he's the MVP and prove to James Cook they can run the football and make it a viable part of the offense so we don't put everything on this guy. And now look what he's doing. 4 touchdowns, first time on a Monday Night Football, I think since 2000 or some shit. Since Ben Roethlisberger. So let's be honest. This guy's doing things that Patrick Mahomes had to do last year when they won the Super Bowl there without the great wideouts. And I called that out. I said, Patrick Mahomes deserves credit. He played hurt. He played with all the drama around his family. He played without the great weapons. This year is even worse in KC, in my opinion, because they got a young Xavier Worthy that can't get on.
Rasheed's the truth.
Yeah, but that's it, though. Kelsey's a non-factor. You don't have any other number 2 wideout. And Worthy's just a guy you try to sprinkle in there to get past the coverage. They don't really have any other number.
Hollywood Brown will be back though in a couple weeks though. So
I heard he might not be, dog. I heard he might not be. And just be honest, Juju is just a fill-in guy.
That's your guy though. That's your guy.
I get it, man. Great family friend. He's a fill-in guy at this point. Smitty, look at him.
He scored a touchdown, JB.
Look at the touchdown he scored the other night. It wasn't even meant for him.
Little TikTok.
I'm just, do the TikTok bullshit. I'm cool. And listen, dog, we're going to take a commercial break in a minute, but let me ask you something. Micah Parsons, you're the reason why the Cowboys just ain't going to get over the hump.
We're going to get to that, though. We're going to get to that. Hold on to that, JB. Hold on to it, JB.
I know. I just love to say that.
Real quick before we do commercial, though, let's talk about the other game, man. There were 2 games on Monday night. The Washington Commanders got the W against Joe Burrow and his Bengals. Joe Burrow actually played a really good game. 300 passing yards. He had 3 touchdowns. But Jaden Daniels balled out, ran when he's supposed to run, threw accurate passes when he's supposed to. It was a point in the game where he was like a 10 for 10. Had an incompletion the entirety of the game.
He was 91% on the game. He was 91%.
This is the highest passing completion percentage in either, I think, rookie quarterback NFL history. It was some stat that said at the end of the game that it was the first ever. It was the number 1. How were you surprised to see them win? I guess, how did you feel after this game, seeing the Commanders win in the fashion that they did?
Yeah, no, it surprised me because we all picked the Bengals, obviously, to get off the schneid. But I don't know, Smitty. That's a bad Bengal nucleus. I'm going to leave it at that. Joe Mixon absolutely has destroyed the continuity of that offense. And
you know what's crazy? I watched that game, though, JB, and the offense don't concern me. I thought the offense looked good. It's the defense.
You got T. Higgins back. Like I said, you got T. But here's the difference, though.
The defense. And they got that cat, that smart cat. What's his name? He was born in Japan. He went to like an Ivy League school.
Asian dude,
that dude was balling.
Yeah, but let me add, but here's the thing, though. You got to understand something, Smitty. This is a team. If you're just throwing the football over the park and you don't control the clock whatsoever, look what happened. This guy went 19 of 21, 91% completion percentage because you couldn't get off because you guys were either scoring quick or punting. If I have a run game and a guy like Joe Mixon where it's an extension of the run game and I can throw him the football from the backfield and other things, it changes the game. Now we know what we're doing. We're throwing the football to we got our guy Higgins back, so we'll see. But we're throwing the ball to him. We're throwing the ball to Jamar, who's still not happy. How's that locker room really feeling? Like There's a lot going on, dog. I don't know. There's a lot going on right now. I'm just going to tell you. But
we'll see. It's scary. 0-3 is hard to make the playoffs. I know there's a percentage, like a stat for that. When teams start 0-3, it tremendously shrinkens and lessens the opportunity and chance of them making the playoffs. So we'll see, man. We'll see.
Yeah. Let's take a quick break. We're going to be back in 3 minutes with Steve Kim. I got to give me a coffee refill. Pound that like, subscribe, become a member today. And we'll be back in 3 minutes. Peace.
Ladies and gentlemen, joining us now is a man who he spoke to every single NCAA college football 2025 team seemingly on the internet. From Last Chance U, national champion, Coach JB.
Yeah, Coach. What's up, gentlemen?
Coach, just great car, great stick. Thank you for pulling off to the side of the road. Hope you don't get killed here. Honestly, the side of the road, LA, I assume, that's not necessarily the safest place on earth. So we'll make this quick. How do you feel about all of these new coaches now in this NCAA college football 2025 game using your speeches to motivate these boys from one side of the country to the other, Coach?
I feel broke.
Yeah.
Like, it's crazy. Can I get like a royalty or something? Like, Netflix already screwed me. I'm getting screwed by EA Sports now too? Like, holy shit. I hit him up. I reached out to him like, hey, trying to be cordial and nice. I'm a nice guy, you know me.
Yeah.
And I was like, hey, EA Sports, maybe I can actually be your video guy than to actual do a real video instead of using my name, image, and likeness.
Oh, shit.
And maybe I can get a little piece of the pie, but nah, it's all right. Just keep sharing my 500 million views of it.
I don't mean to laugh at you, but obviously you are a hilarious, miserable person, and this is kind of is how it goes.
Hey, Pat, I was actually chilling. My back went out yesterday, so I didn't even do my show today. So I just left my chiropractor, and I'm waiting on this damn cigar company to open. They're late, of course. I mean, come on.
Shit. Okay, so life is good. Last question for me, because I know the last time we talked to you, you had not watched the Netflix series Last Chance U. You said that. You said, I've not watched it, but obviously you've heard from everybody. Now, do you see some clips that come across your way? You're like, I don't remember saying that. And then all of a sudden, oh, I killed that. And do you judge your clips whenever you see them? You're like, I murdered that one.
Nah. A broad came over to the house the other day, and I didn't really want to watch Netflix with her and chill. But she wanted to watch the show. We watched one episode.
Okay.
And I'm like, I can't watch this.
Okay.
And she was like, oh my God. I'm like, I don't want to watch this. It was the first scene of the cow scene or whatever. And I'm like, yeah, they only made about $4 billion off my name on this shit. I'm not watching Netflix either. So I'm spiteful right now, Pat. I don't want to watch Netflix. I don't want to watch EA Sports video game. I'm like, man, and I can't even get 40,000 subscribers on my YouTube channel.
Well, you're going to the moon. We appreciate the hell out of you, Coach. Hopefully it'll get figured out, and we know the Netflix and chill thing, what that leads to. Bad backs, chiropractors. We appreciate you. Ladies and gentlemen, Coach JB.
Yeah, Coach.
We are back. JB's at the bar pouring a shot. Got his all red on. And it's time to bring on one of my favorite guests on this show, the Korean Cosell, one of the smartest guys you will ever meet in sports, the one and only Steve Kim. Bring him on, baby.
Steve, what up?
Morning, guys. What's up?
Hey, man, we're hanging in there. But what do I know about quarterbacks? What do I know about football? And what do I know about Patrick Mahomes? Hey, listen, is Patrick Mahomes the guy we thought he was if he would have got drafted by the Bears or somebody? Because this is his worst year.
This is a great question. I think on Sunday, this has been an alarming trend. I think he had 39 pass attempts for 217 yards. That is a terrible efficiency. And that right there will tell you everything you need to know about a pass offense and a quarterback's efficiency. It's yards per attempt. And if it's well below 8, and if you're near 40 pass attempts and you're not anywhere near 300 yards, you are dinking and dunking.
Listen, I get he's won 3 Super Bowls. I also get he's won 3 Super Bowls. So all these chat guys in here who think we're just talking because he's having a down year. No, we have to. That's what the current – what have you done for me lately? What are we supposed to talk about? What he's done in the Super Bowl? By the way, he's had 3 horrible Super Bowls and another one he got blown out in. Let's just be honest. He's won 3, though. I call it like it is. He's the number 1 quarterback in the NFL because guess what? If he wins a 3rd in a row, people are going to be talking about the Mount Rushmore. People are going to probably put Andy Reid on the Mount Rushmore for the first coach to do it since post-AFL. I mean, I don't know, the merger. I just think that this is the guy we would have saw if they would have drafted Deshaun Watson first in 2017 instead of Patrick Mahomes to the Kansas City Chiefs. That's all I'm saying. I think this is the guy we would have seen in Chicago or Indianapolis or Cleveland. This is the guy if he'd have went there. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, Coach, I'm seeing a certain trend. Teams are now going back under center. They're now going back under center, and they're running certain running plays we have not seen on a regular basis in a very long time. Downhill ISO, quick toss, sweeps, counters. And you know what? Teams cannot run fit very well. Bill Belichick mentioned this last week on his show, and I started watching some games. Teams are now coming up in 1985 football, and what they're doing is they are gashing teams in between the 2 tackles, and then they're playing off that with regular play action and bootleg. Jets, last Thursday night, I thought Rodgers looked really good. And why? Because out of the first 3 or 4 plays, they came right underneath center. They leaned on Breece Hall. Had a great game. Derrick Henry, we talked about this for a few weeks, Coach. They gashed the Cowboys, and it wasn't out of the shotgun or pistol. If I'm the Ravens, I run a lot more stuff right under center because that bootleg waggle action with the Lamar Jackson.
It works.
I'm just telling you, that backside end cannot ever crash down. I think they found something there. They ran 15 times a pass play. They ran the ball over 40 times. So I think that they found something, but when you do not hit all throughout the year, you don't have two-a-days, you don't do the old middle drill, you don't do the Oklahoma drill, you're not allowed to tackle, all you're doing is thudding, and then you don't have teams that know how to play a regular 11 or 12 personnel, there's going to be a team, and it's probably going to be Harbaugh. They're going to rediscover something. It's called the fullback. And when you start bringing the fullback in, I think teams are going to be so lost. They're like, how the hell do we run fit this?
Yeah.
This 7-on-7 culture is going to start to really hurt certain defenses because when you're not even playing 3 linebackers most of the time, again, it's what Warren Buffett once said. When everyone else is bold, I'm cautious. But when when everyone else is cautious, I'm bold.
I love it. I love it, Stan. You're hitting the nail right on the head. I think everything is full circle in life and especially in sports. And I think, you laid it out perfectly, man. Like in the league right now where linebackers are the same size as safeties and you basically just have additional DBs out there in the field in a league where it's less physical and everything's a targeting. It's like, you know what? And also in a league where JB, to your credit, QB plays at an all-time low. Why not hand the ball off? Why not utilize the running back more? So I think you're right. You're spot on.
You know, it's amazing. Kurt Warner, he's a very friendly, diplomatic guy. He put out a tweet yesterday saying, I got physically ill watching some of this quarterback play. I had to shut off the tape.
Yeah.
It is very funny how what Coach JB has been saying for at least 2.5, 3 years is now being echoed.
Yeah.
I mean, JB, take a bow. Take a bow. And not like an Asian, but a real bow. You know?
Thank you. No gung-ho here. No gung-ho. I gotta ask you, Steve. This is very interesting that you brought this up, though, because if you look at all these games being played, I broke it down this morning to start the show. Listen to the names real quick, okay? Trevor Lawrence, Deshaun Watson, Jalen Hurts, Dak Prescott, Tua, who's out, and Jordan Love, who's out, all got paid this offseason. For what? Where is the return? When are the owners going to say, all right, man, at least I got to have a return on this. You gave Dak Prescott $60 million. He hasn't looked like horrible, but he also hasn't been the game changer that a $60 million guy should be, in my opinion.
Yeah, here's the issue. When you re-sign a guy like Dak, who I like, he's probably among the top half dozen, if not super elite. The problem is when Jerry Jones said, well, he's been our quarterback and we're going to have to pay. Okay, are you bidding against yourself, though?
Yeah.
That's the question that I have is like, look, the going rate is the going rate. The sticker price for a car, that's what you're going to have to pay, right?
Right.
I have a question, though. Does that mean that if Dak Prescott suddenly hit the open market, I think there would be a bidding war, but would that price suddenly go up to $65, $70 million for him? I'm not sure about that.
No, I think it goes down. I think it goes down.
I disagree.
Here's the issue, though. If you don't teach the quarterback how to take snaps under center and drop and do the things that we're seeing in college at all-time clip, these guys that are in the gun, Steve, they don't want to get under center because they're guys that are willing. They want to run. They want to ad-lib and run. You can't run under center.
Coach, if your whole life all you've done is 7-on-7 shotgun, you don't even know how to drop 3, 5, and 7. I look at Bryce Young, and by the way, Bryce Young, it's funny. I was told by the mainstream media it's that dreaded virus, the Corona 2. It's causing a pandemic of offenses, according to football analysts. Yes, the Corona 2 virus.
Yeah.
Okay. So all I was told was Johnny Unitas.
On the roof.
Yeah, Johnny Unitas, Dan Fouts, Joe Montana, Dan Marino, Brett Favre could not win because David Tepper's such a bad owner, and it's the organization. Okay. Coach JB, once again, take a non-Asian bow. You said Andy Dalton would get in there and run an offense. So I'm thinking the red rifle. That's not even the red rifle that tells time. So I started watching some of this game. I said, okay, this guy's a relic. He's going to get all of us. Guess what? They look like a real offense. And before last night, they scored the most points on the road of any NFL team before the Commanders put up 38 or whatever they put up.
By the way, he's the first guy of 24 to throw for 303 touchdowns.
Right. And all he did was operate the offense.
That's it.
You don't want to give up on Bryce Young so early, but when I look at his footwork, he's tap dancing like Gregory Hines, God rest his soul. He won't set his feet. It's a very soft drop, and he fades away, and he's throwing off his back foot, which a lot of quarterbacks do nowadays. He does not have the arm strength to get away with it, and cornerbacks are just squatting over him.
Well, you see, the thing is, the difference between like a Joe Montana with no arm strength and a Bryce Young with no arm strength is one knew where he was going with the football, the other don't. And when you're second-guessing your weak arm strength like Tua and these other guys you see, guess what? Bad disaster. It's a disaster waiting to happen. Because you see Dalton goes in there, average arm nowadays, can't move. But guess what? Pre-snap, he knows where he's going with the football, and if something happens, he knows where to go. And that's boom, 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 boom.
I mean, if you really see the thing with Bryce Young and Caleb Williams and Anthony Richardson, I'm like, that game, Smitty, with all due respect.
We got the win, baby. It's all that matters.
Right, but that quarterback play was gonorrhea versus syphilis. Hey. My God. That was
which one is better though, Steve?
Well, gonorrhea, you can take a shot.
Somebody won, though. Somebody won.
Gonorrhea is better. Gonorrhea is better. You take a shot and it's over.
All right, well, the coach was gonorrhea that day, Steve, and we got the win.
Urine still burns the hell out of you, I've been told. Yeah. But I mean, it's just like, I mean, look, I will give, you know who I got to give credit to?
Thank you.
The Packers and LaFleur. They had taken Malik Willis, and they realized we're playing two bad teams, and we're going to pare this down for Malik Willis. Malik Willis has never looked this competent. And I get it. They played Will Levis, who's Nuke Nalouche. $1 million arm, 10-cent head. But he's actually looked pretty functional. And if I'm the Packers, if I'm 2-1 and I'm playing a very difficult Brian Flores defense, I make sure Jordan Love is really back. I actually hold him out and say, you know what, we're 2-2. We're good now. We're good. That's what I would do. But I look at this quarterback play. There were 3 games, gentlemen, that were 7-3 going into the fourth quarter on Sunday. Yeah. 7-3.
Bad. Here's a take, and Smitty's starting to see it as well. Let's just talk about Shedeur Sanders in Colorado real quick. to your 7-on-7 point. Taking sacks and everyone blames the O-line. Let me be clear here. Quarterbacks make O-line. O-line does not make quarterbacks. Let's just be clear here. A lot of us have never had O-lines in this business and still knew how to get the ball out. All of a sudden, Bryce Young had no O-line and got sacked 5 times a game. All of a sudden, you put a 38-year-old in, he gets sacked once. He got sacked once and throws for 303 touchdowns. Like, let's make it make sense. Quarterbacks make O-line. Look at Tom Brady. Tom Brady didn't have the most dominant line in New England every year. He got the ball out on time. He knew where to go with the football, and the ball was out quick. Look at his release time. Look at Kurt Warner with the Rams' greatest show on turf. Ball was coming out. Their O-line was okay, but guess what? They did so much with that Mike Martz offense with Marshall Faulk in that system. Ball was out. You didn't need a great O-line. Quarterbacks make O-line play, not the other way around. Stop using that as an excuse. It's the quarterbacks who don't know what to do with the football that make O-linemen look even worse than they already are.
Randall Cunningham was was the most athletic quarterback of his era with the Eagles. You know who got sacked more than anybody by far in that era? Randall Cunningham. You know who got sacked the least and was the toughest guy to get? Dan Marino. When I look at
boom.
It really is. And you've got to realize sometimes you're better off just grounding the ball, just throwing it away. Don't worry about your percentage. It's overrated. I would much rather have you just throw the ball and say, you know what, let's start over.
Brought that up.
You know, so I look at
Smitty brought that up with Matt yesterday. He said,
what did he say, Matt? I mean,
well, no, Smitty brought it up and was like, hey, I don't think he's a top 3 quarterback in the draft, and I believe he holds onto the ball too long. Smitty said it himself. I think he holds the ball too long. We said it on text message, Steve, when we were watching the game live. And Smitty was like, hey, man, the one knock I see is that he holds the ball too long, and that's going to be an issue at the next level. And I'm only projecting next level. He's a good college quarterback. I'm not going to say he's not. He could throw the ball, deep ball, great. I think he's probably the best deep ball thrower in college football right now. He has a lot. He's had some deep ball drops, and we saw one the other day versus Baylor. But also, he does some things that I just don't. Everything's 7-on-7. He never completes his drop. He's just throwing the ball up, deep balls. He got 2 PI plays that put him in scoring position, and it's a whole other ball game. But full circle, Steve, real quick before we got to set a topic for you before you get out of here. Josh Allen. Addition by subtraction. I said it before the season. Get rid of Diggs. Josh Allen will run that team. He'll play a lot freer, no stress. He looks like the MVP, and the Bills look serious.
Well, he's the MVP of September. I don't know if he could just keep playing Superman to this degree.
But at least he's throwing it this time.
He is, but look, James Cook is turning into a really good frontline running back.
Yeah.
I don't know if they have a true number 1 receiver. Keon Coleman had a touchdown yesterday. Shakir. He looks like a second or third guy. They have a pretty good set of tight ends. Look, Josh Allen's actually underrated. This is what you get every year with him. About 4,000 yards passing and at least 40 touchdowns produced total. That is hard. He is one of the few true franchise quarterbacks.
Yeah, he was the MVP last year. Shit.
You know, so I look at that. And by the way, guys, I've said it. I'm glad I went on record. I told people last year Jaden Daniels was QB1 coming out of the draft.
We all, you and Shaun and I said it. You, Shaun King, and I both all said it.
He has great arm talent, which is different than arm strength. The only concern I have about him, and he finally did it, he's got to learn how to hook slide regularly. He takes a lot of square hits. It was actually happening in the preseason, but he has a really bright offensive mind in Cliff Kingsbury that's going to tailor the system towards him. And Scary Terry finally has a frontline quarterback, got going last night. But Jaden Daniels, to me, is clearly the best quarterback out of this draft.
Joseph Caldwell in the chat. I did say Dabo would be the coach of the Bills if they lose, but they're winning.
Yeah.
Fucking idiot.
Oh, and by the way, Malik Neighbors is saving jobs in New York. I thought he was wide receiver 1.
He's legit.
I think there's a guy that's getting him the ball.
Stop, JB. Stop trying to. I mean, trying to know.
Have you seen Malik Neighbors catch the ball and throw it to his fucking self?
We can't even play like this right now. No. We don't even know. Fuck that.
I haven't.
You play like that.
Malik Neighbors takes a snap, fucking throws it and runs and catches it. I haven't.
Basically, shit. I mean, JB, long as the ball is somewhere in the area code, the zip code of Malik Neighbors, he gonna bring it down.
Daniel Jones in the last 2 games has looked good. Stop playing.
He has, but Jake, I'm just telling you, Malik Neighbors makes a difference, and the biggest difference between him and Marvin Harrison is the ability to really create separation and burst away from people and beat people right off the line and run a go route and just run past. He's a guy that plays fast. He has that knack. I don't know what his 40 time is, but he plays faster in pads than he does in shirts and sneakers. He's a rare playmaker. By the way, guys, let's get into this. I've been waiting on this. Took time to here's my bottom 5, top 5. Let's get into this.
Steve loves this topic. At least Steve loves this is Talk That Talk Tuesday with Steve Kim and Crouching Tiger, Hidden Gems. Let's go.
All right. So the top. Gotta go with the Rutgers. And I don't want to focus on the same teams or people every week. That gets repetitive. Rutgers is 3-0. I know they've been 3-0 before, but I think this is a better version of 3-0. They pretty much handled or controlled most of that game against Vatech with Monon Guy. And I've got to give Greg Schiano credit. This is a guy, he's not a great pro coach. I thought he was a misplaced guy. But I've always said, if he would have taken over for Butch Davis at Miami instead of Larry Coker, the substitute teacher, Miami would have won multiple national titles. And you know why? Because he's a bit of an asshole. You want to run a good college program that's going to win a lot, don't get a nice guy. Got to have a coach with an edge. Schiano has an edge. They play Washington this Friday. The game's at Rutgers. They win that, and all of a sudden Rutgers is headed for a pretty damn good season. But shout out to Rutgers. They've done a few things. They've settled the program again. And Greg Schiano, in his second run at Rutgers, is recreating that magic. So shout out to them. The other guy that I want to focus in on, Caleb Johnson. Here's a guy averaging over 8 yards a carry for Iowa. Now, Iowa is a team that has no offensive weapons outside. They're probably loading and stacking that box against that air raid that they don't have. And he dominated that game against Minnesota on the road. Caleb Johnson is putting himself on NFL radars. He's an elite premier running back. And again, this is a guy that's getting no help outside. And I guarantee you teams are probably stacking that box like crazy. Number 3.
White? Is he a white running back?
No. Caleb with the K.
Caleb.
Yeah.
But it's with the K, Smitty. It's with a K. That's the reason I was going to ask. I had to ask. Hey, Steve, to ask if an Iowa player is white is really not out of the realm.
Well, yeah, I mean, but you asked that if it's a cornerback. That's kind of like their thing. They still have black running backs over there, coach. Now, the other thing is, number 3, Cam Ward. Cam Ward,
of course.
Right now he is the Heisman front runner. I'm sick of hearing about these Colorado guys. When they start losing games, they're not going to get any votes. Cam Ward is a galvanizing, impactful, generational player. Maybe the most important recruit Mario Cristobal has ever had. He is the glue. He's the straw that stirs the drink. Even when Miami was scuffling with UCF or USF on Saturday, I said, don't worry about it. The pilot to Air Cristobal has got this. By the way, he actually threw a cover 2 hole shot down the middle to Sam Brown. It was a thing of beauty. Yeah,
cover 2?
Yeah, cover 2. Imagine that. Also, I got to give credit. Now, I was vacillating here. Do I put Michigan in the top 5 or USC in the bottom 5? You know what? I'm going to give the Wolverines the credit. Hail to the victors, champions of the West. They ran the ball. They were tough. They came out with the plays when they needed to. But I've got to say this about USC. How do you allow a team that had 32 yards passing, had no threat of the throw game, and then they had maybe I should have put Lincoln Riley in the bottom 5, though. The way he handled the last 5 minutes of that game, not running the ball more than once on that second-to-last offensive drive, and then on that play where Khalil Mullings busted that 63-yarder, which swung the whole game, Kamari Ramsey, you want to be an NFL safety, you got to make that tackle. That was a lazy effort. I'll just say, you watch that play again. It was a 9-yard gain. He came in from the side as a safety. Kamari olayed it. That was a terrible effort. If you watch that again, number 7 for USC, I rewound that thing 5 times last night. Said, that's a guy not putting his body on the line. Hey. Ronnie Lott, Joey Browner would not approve.
I saw
Dennis
Baylor
Smith
do that
would not approve.
Baylor did the same thing against Colorado.
I mean, Kamari, that should be a 9-yard gain, and you made it into a 63-yard gain. That's a poor effort. And if I'm an NFL scout, I would have like a red flag, because if that's the effort you're going to give in that situation of the game, nah. Then Illinois. I will give the Illini credit. I did not think Luke Altmaier could go in as the starting quarterback at the Lincoln Memorial Stadium and beat a team that seems to be on the uprise. You know what? They outplayed them. They really did outplay him, and you got to give Brett Bielema credit. Didn't work out for him at Arkansas, but he's done a pretty good job of steadying that program in Champaign, and they are now 4-0, and I think they're going to make some noise. They're a very, very tough team. Defensively, they're pretty good. And again, they beat a Kansas team that's been disappointing and a Nebraska team that has momentum. So that's my top 5. Bottom 5.
Bottom of the barrel.
NC State. It's not that you're losing, because you're losing to good teams. You're getting blown out. And for Dave Dorn's defense to get gashed and mauled and mollywopped the way they are, I do not expect that from that program. And now they have a situation at quarterback. C.J. Bailey has a little bit of a future, even though you hate that low release coach. I think he has a liver arm than Grayson McCall. If they lose a couple of more games, I start going with the future, because C.J. Bailey is the future. But
let me ask you guys, not to cut you off before you get to UNC game. Is Clemson back?
I think they're – I never gave up on them, Coach. And the biggest difference they're doing is they're allowing Cade Klubnik to throw on first down. That game plan versus Georgia, I'd be ashamed of. All you were doing is run, oh shit, 3rd and long. Yeah, well, Coach, that's because you're going up against Georgia. You're not going to establish the run. You establish the run against Georgia, all you're doing is setting up 3rd and long. Starting with the App State game, they made a decision. We will let Cade Klubnik go vertical on early downs. And look, they have some young receivers that were very highly recruited that you have to let play, like Bryant Wesco. And Phil Maffa can steady you in the ground game. He can keep you ahead of the chains. But Klubnik is playing with a certain confidence he did not have at any point last year. And they're finally it looks more or less like a Garrett Riley offense finally. Let's just put it that way.
It looks like they got more than just white boys out there on that field, Steve.
They finally have some twitch. Anyway, UNC. The UNC defense. I'm just going to say this. Carter ain't walking through that door. Marvin Austin ain't walking through that door. Quinn Sturdivant ain't walking through that door. Dre Bly ain't walking through that door. And Julius Pepper and Lawrence Taylor, they're really not walking through that door. They hung a 70 spot on you. You almost had Mac Brown retiring. And then he said, no, forget it. I need a paycheck. Bad. At home, James Madison, Alonzo Barnett's a quarterback. They could have actually scored 80. They blew some opportunities late in the first half to actually score more points than they did. UNC may have found a quarterback, though, because they actually moved the ball fairly well. You're not going to win a lot of games giving up 70, home or away. Now, the other team I want to spotlight, Dave Aranda, Baylor. Your team actually played a good game. Dave, you are a defensive specialist. That last sequence of plays, the way you handled it, is a clinic on how not to defend a Hail Mary. Honestly. I don't know why defensive backs, well, there are taught, Coach, but you got to guard the goal line. That's where the fence has to start. You don't guard the back of the end zone. And look, if you cannot, and then also the way they align defensively, I don't understand why you just don't have 2 wide ends and a guy up the middle. They did this thing where they overloaded on one side, and I'm thinking that's a strange-looking play.
They never pulled him up. They should have pulled him up on the edge.
Yeah, I'm just – look, to me, the way that they were aligned and then the way they covered on the back end, it was an exhibition on how a coach on the hot seat might lose his job. Number 4, this is really about the coach, not the team. Auburn has a quarterback problem. They don't have one. They have an older guy in Peyton Thorne that's very limited and a guy in Hank Brown that's not ready to play, but Hugh Freeze's behavior on the sideline, I've never seen a coach melt down like that. And Hugh, you're the offensive guy. You're blaming and bitching at everybody, and now your old quarterback from Ole Miss, Bo Wallace, had some very revealing tweets. Bo Wallace.
JUCO, that JUCO guy, yeah.
Yeah, and Bo Wallace flat out said, man, I gave up a piece of my body for you, and you're just a selfish son of a you-know-what. I'm like, wow, that was interesting. So Hugh Freeze has an issue. They're giving him a lot of money at Auburn, a lot of NIL collective money, and they're recruiting all over the place. You better find a quarterback.
Hey, shout out Charles Arbuckle in the chat. Good friend of mine, legendary.
Number 1 tight end in 1985 out of Houston, Texas, I believe.
Yep. Hey, Charles, happy birthday to you, brother. Belated. I know it was the other day. Hey, he's right, Steve, right here. Chiz is at home drinking his coffee, probably turning it over and saying,
wasn't me.
I went to a natty.
By the way, Charles Arbuckle, I'll never forget, in 1988, I went to the UCLA-Nebraska game. And it was UCLA went up 28-0 in like 10 minutes. And Troy Aikman threw a little route to Charles Arbuckle right in the middle of the field. And Arbuckle just turned around and raced like 70 yards. I've never seen a guy that big move that fast. Anyway, shout out to you, Charles Arbuckle.
Charles Arbuckle reminded you of John Mackey a little bit, I thought.
He was a really good, highly recruited. That's when UCLA used to care about football. They don't seem to anymore. But, yeah, Hugh Freeze, Hugh. You are a coach. You're the leader. You're the one who makes the most amount of money. When you point the finger, 3 of them come right back at you. You got to start pulling the thumb. You are losing that locker room with the way you are behaving on the sideline and some of the statements that you are making. That's the reality. Act like a leader. And finally, this is a program that I respect. I think they're going to be okay. Kansas State, they were playing a good, solid game for about 27 minutes of the first half. I think they were up 6-0. And then they completely imploded the next 12 to 15 minutes against the Stormin' Mormons of BYU, and they were down 31-6 in a flash. Avery Johnson is a quarterback that I like, but coach, right now, he needs to learn he needs to operate inside the pocket, because that offense does not look great unless he's scrambling. And I'm not a big fan of that offense. Avery Johnson needs to make the routine throw at a higher level than he is right now for this team to really make a run. So that is it. The bottom 5, top 5.
Steve, you got 5 minutes or you got to go?
No, I got a couple more minutes. We got about 4 or 5 minutes.
All right, let's dive into Smitty's real quick. I want to get your take on his and mine. Bottom of the barrel, top of the world. And let's go through it real quick with Smitty. Here's Smitty's bottom of the barrel right here, huh, Smitty?
Bottom of the barrel, man. A lot of the same reasons that.
Hey, is that Gronk? Is that Gronk in the USAA commercial with Mac Brown? Is that where he's headed?
I believe that is.
Is that where he's headed? Go ahead, Smitty.
At the top, man, like same thing Steve said, North Carolina, man, to lose that way, to give up 70 points. I saw that score like go across the bottom of the screen. I thought it was an NBA game. I thought it was a preseason that started early. To give up 70 points in the football game against JMU is there's no excuse for that. So I had to start off with North Carolina at the top. Number 2, I got USC, but I got their run defense, man. How do you give up
300 almost
300 on the ground, only 32 passing yards, and lose? Like, talk about taking like a pounding like that's a mindset. I'm going against this team. They can't stop us. They know what we're going to do. We're going to ISO power. We're going to run the ball down their throats, and you did nothing to stop it. So I have to put the USC run defense at number 2. Number 3, I'm going with Baylor, not because I thought Baylor played so bad the entirety of the game, but to me, 1, you guys were the favorites, number 1. Number 2, the ending of the game. The game was won. It was over. It was a wrap. But it's rule number 1 in the books. If you played football, you coach football, you know football. In a Hail Mary situation, put your heels at the goal line. I don't know if they were taught what they were doing or the players out there freestyling. Either way, you can't go out there and do that. And then in overtime, Colorado scored just like that. Like, it was easy. It was wrapped. There was no resistance at all. So I got to put Baylor on the list. Number 4, UCLA. And this might be a little bit more of just not just last week, but it's how UCLA has been looking in general. And
Smitty, I actually thought they showed improvement. I'm just telling you, I actually think they look better. I know it's a very low bar. That's the best game they played this year.
Yeah, I disagree with that one. The only reason I disagree with that one is because they're already shitty.
I hear you. I mean,
Smitty, I was stunned the game was even that close. They only lose by 17. And again, you have to judge progress sometimes, not by wins or losses.
Common denominator.
I actually think that they played the best game.
You guys are right, but you do understand the tone of what you're speaking on. You're saying that they've been playing so shitty that them just playing and looking okay is just a huge step forward. So
yeah.
LSU is the common denominator. Not very good team.
Oh,
Go ahead, Smitty.
And then number 5, I'm going with Nebraska. I mean, it was a close game. I just thought that they took a little bit of a step down. Obviously, they're playing against a Illinois team that I respect. That's good. Luke Alzheimer threw 4 touchdowns, over 20 yards, efficient game. They ran the ball decently as well. Overtime game. Again, the way that Nebraska was kind of on a high. And I think a lot of us went to the game thinking that Nebraska would stay on that high and win that game. So I put them in number 5, JB.
All right.
I don't disagree. I love Matt Rule, but you got to win home games. You got to do the Under Armour. You got to protect that.
If you're going to change that, if you're going to change, you're going to sell out 400 in a row and do what you do on a Lincoln on a Friday night and show up. You got to win those games, in my opinion. Steve, 2 minutes. We'll do my bottom 5 real quick. I'll rapid fire them so Steve can give his take on it. First of all, North Carolina shit the bed. We already know you lost to a group of 4 team in a fashion that just is not parity. It is just bad football. It's watered down. Stop. This is an every week occurrence now. It's not like it was the only team that we've seen this year. It happens every week in multiple facets. This is a Northern Illinois, a North Carolina, or a James Madison. We continue to see it over and over and over. Notre Dame. This is bad football. Baylor, you shit the bed. Dave Aranda's probably going to get fired. You're the defensive coordinator and the head coach. Bad look. Northern Illinois, Steve. We saw that game. We said, holy shit, how do you beat Notre Dame? How do you rep the Maction, as Smitty says, and then shit the bed versus a team that in Buffalo, I believe, hadn't had a win yet. USC, we already know. USC, I think the common denominator is LSU. I don't think SC is as good as we thought they were. They look bigger up front, but they're not better up front. And Michigan hit them in the mouth. Baylor, again, that's how bad I thought you were. You are shitty. You shit the bed. You
know what?
Shit the bed.
I'll leave you with these 2 thoughts. What happened at the end of that Colorado game is the worst meltdown involving Waco since David Koresh. Also, keep this in mind about USC. They gave up over 300 yards rushing. 3 of them came on big plays. So you can look at that any way you want, but when you have a team that has no threat of the pass, you've got to load up that box. And you talk about mugging the front, Coach JB. You can't allow more than 1 big play. That's a game that I believe USC, they're not going to get over that for a while. Guys, I got to get going. I'll talk to you on Thursday, okay?
All right, Steve, you have a go, my guy.
Follow Steve over there at Whitlock and watch him. And by the way, we don't want to forget, Baylor missed a field goal also to one that would have wrapped the game up. So you missed a field goal.
You fucked up on the Hail Mary, and then they gave any resistance on overtime. Then when you brought the score to tie, you fumbled the ball.
It's a very, very tight rope in football, whatever level, high school, college, pro. Colorado loses that game. It probably is the end of their season. Baylor loses that game, it's probably the end of their season now. Because remember, you deflated a great special teams performance by Baylor, who got you points when you couldn't get any on offense. You've negated all that. And then you go down and miss a field goal on special teams. Then you give up a Hail Mary. That Baylor team may not win another game.
And that special teams will never play it that way again the rest of the season. Like when you have those type of games, you got to maximize and capitalize on that. You know what I'm saying? On those moments. And you hit the nail on the head. I brought up the Iowa game when I was in college my junior year. We had them on the ropes, playing phenomenal defense the entirety of the game. We get tired at the end. They go down and score a drive. Last 2 drives, they win the game. The rest of our season, we shit the bed, had a horrible year. And you're right. There's certain moments that it's hard to pinpoint. You just got to just feel it and know it, where it's like if you win this game, your season will be on the uprise. If you lose this game, it's on the downfall. And I do feel like that was that moment for Baylor, and I think it could be an uprise moment for Colorado. We'll see this weekend. They got a big time game. I know Big Noon's going to be there, so it's going to be a premier audience, stuff like that. So we'll see. But you're right. There are moments in games and season that's kind of make or break for your season.
And listen, on the ticker right behind us, Utah State accepts invitation to join Pac-12. That's on Bailey's list of things to talk about. We'll talk about with T-Rich here. But listen, this is why I always say, like, that game, man, that is a huge game-defining moment for not only Dave Aranda and Baylor, but going forward, and then Colorado, because they got to play the team, I think, that leads the nation in total offense in UCF this week. And I think UCF is one of the best rushing offenses in football, as Gus Malzahn's teams usually are, because they're rapid fire, rapid pace, and they run the football in multiple different ways: counter, tray, gap scheme, pin and pull, RPO. They're going to go fast.
You got the best rush, one of the best rushing defenses versus one of the best rushing offenses. So, I mean, somebody got to win.
Yeah, something's going to give this week. Something's going to give this week. It's going to be an interesting chess match to see that one. I got to be honest. KJ Jefferson with Gus Malzahn. It's interesting. It's going to be interesting. And listen, I picked USC to beat Michigan, and they look the part, but that doesn't mean they are the part. That team did not look good up front on either side of the football. And welcome to the Big 12, right? Big 10.
Big
sorry.
10. We play a different kind of form of football in the Midwest, man. From high school to college, it's just a different form of football, different weather, different mentality. Not calling the West Coast soft, not at all. Just you guys have literally the West Coast offense. You guys focus on a different form of offense than we do in the Midwest, as you should. So just, it's something that you got to get used to. And again,
remember too, people don't understand the
break it down.
Let me break down the geographical allowability.
Ooh, I like that.
In America.
All right.
California is having 7-on-7 tournaments at Christmas.
Right.
Because it's 75 degrees.
Sunny, beautiful.
We're out throwing the football. At Christmas in the Midwest, they are not allowed to have a football out in high school. They're actually wrestling, playing basketball, and running track, right?
Indoor track or lifting weights.
That's what they do in the Midwest.
Yeah.
California, Georgia, Florida, Texas are playing 7-on-7 at the Christmas time break. And then they go to Las Vegas, PlyCon, biggest 7-on-7 tournament in the country. A friend of mine, a girl runs that. That's a huge thing every year. And I'm just telling you, there's a huge thing to be said there. In the Midwest, guess what? When they put that ball out in the snow, they run the football. And there's a difference. And that's why I said when the USC and UCLA and Washington and Oregon made that transition, I'm trying to still those linemen to play in sunny Southern California, in sunny, LA,
Arizona, whatever. Yeah.
West Coast, Oregon and Washington, a little gloomy, rainy, but I'm saying it's a little different. In December, when you come play me in the Coliseum, I'm trying to steal your guys. That's what they're doing now anyway. Everywhere you go and shake lines after the game, they're stealing players. They're poaching. It's a joke. So why not go try to grab some of those real linemen that just beat your ass 32 passing yards and 300 yards rushing that showed you USC where you got to get to. And Lincoln Riley, you played at Oklahoma. You were at Oklahoma, but you ran a West Coast style at Oklahoma, which now transitions to the SEC. Look what happened. Tennessee welcomed them to the SEC rather in a very interesting fashion by banging their ass out of bounds that we showed yesterday with Jeff Nadu. But it is what it is.
Let me ask you this real quick, though. Are you admitting that overall that people from the Midwest are tougher than people from the West Coast overall in totality?
When it comes to football.
Yeah.
Yeah, not in the street. But, yeah, here's the thing.
Two things can be true.
No, they can't. I didn't recruit nobody from California. I recruited Malik Henry because he was a transfer from Florida State, and I caught him before, and I coached him when he was young. I've known him his whole life. And then Jamal Scott, who is a Rancho Verde Moreno Valley player who helped. It was a state, National Player of the Week against Garden City on Netflix. Ran for 220 on Garden City. He's now a heavyweight boxing. He's a undefeated heavyweight boxer right now, working his way up. great athlete. Those are only 2 California kids I had.
So you was all down south, Midwest, East Coast.
I was actually not a lot East Coast. Baltimore, a few
DC
places.
probably a little bit, yeah.
A few Pennsylvania. I love DC kids. I went Michigan, Ohio. And that the reason is because they're still mill kids. They're they play in the cold. They're not worried about broads and clubbing. Yeah. And they're coming to a shithole town like Independence.
It's like home.
It's like they're not worried about nothing. They want to play ball, get a scholarship, get out of there. Tank Dell is from Florida, but he was from an area where I was serious. I want to be serious. I want to get in and out. Look what Tank Dell's done. Look what Jermaine Johnson's done. Minneapolis kid. Northern kid in the snow. Guess what? Didn't want to be on camera. Came in, balled out. Look at what he's doing now. Pro bowler in the NFL, first rounder. Those are the guys I went after in Independent. Now, if I'm coaching JUCO in Cali, it's different. So now, you got to know where you are.
Is that partly why you went after me to be your co-host? You saw my background, Midwest guy, undersized, overlooked, won full ride scholarship, grinding his way through everything, snow, hail, sleet, kicked out of apartment, lived with his best friend. Like, you saw my journey, and that what kind of sold you to make me your co-host?
No, it's because you're a black and DEI hire.
I just want to make sure. Well, all right, guys, we're going to do a quick commercial break right before T-Rich joins us. I'm going to move my car. JB's going to go take a shot, and then we're going to come right back for more of the Coach JB Show with Big Smitty. Don't you go nowhere. 4 minutes, we're coming right back.
After about 8 days or so, there is a kid who's an unsigned free agent running back because they need depth. They're still waiting for Dameon Pierce to pick up the inside-outside zone scheme that the 49ers have. But I knew nothing about him coming out, JB. I don't know if you did. No, maybe Mel Kiper did, or those guys that do that deep draft stuff for the 7th round. Big undrafted running back named Bobby Dees from Slippery Rock. Do you know anything about him, Smitty, Bobby Dees?
I never heard of him.
Well, that's why, because it's Bobby Dees nuts on your forehead. That's why. Okay.
He got me! He got me!
Got his ass! Bingo. Hey. He's nuts.
Hey,
oh.
I threw you the lob.
Hey, I did. Hey, Smitty. Classic. I heard that last night, too. Smitty, are you there still or are you dead?
I'm there.
JB, you turned me down last night, but Smitty, crazy thing, some guy used this joke, too, last night. I mean, about that Bobby Dees, the running back from Slippery Rock, who's really not a running back, Slippery Rock. I was at the Imagine Dragons concert. Have you ever seen them Have you ever seen them in concert?
Oh,
Imagine Dragons. Either one of you?
The fuck is
Smitty,
that?
have you seen Imagine Dragons?
I've seen them before, yeah.
Yeah, Imagine Dragon. He's nuts on your forehead.
That's me. What the fuck is that? I'm about to say, who the fuck is that?
Double dip. There you go.
Got him.
And by the way, I think Baby found y'all quick too, by the way.
No, he didn't find
Yeah, he did.
No way.
Other than that, we ain't got no free agent running back from Slippery Rock that none of us know. Okay?
By the way, it had to be Slippery Rock, too.
Right.
Oh, yeah, you got to be the Rock.
That was a hell of a job of the build up.
Oh, we got you. I threw him the lob.
Nobody said on a serious note, like it was a real like
Mixing.
Right, mixing. Okay, like, it was a.
I started up with the serious stuff.
Flashback.
Let's show a little Derek Carr. I think he's I think he's as worthless as tits on a boar hog, to be honest. That's just what I think. I think that is personally what I think about Derek Carr.
Dude, that is so funny you said that. That's so old school. My mom.
See how mean he is? That's what he was saying to high school kids, too.
Nah, you got to try to find the one we're evaluating high school kids, dog.
He's looking, he's trying.
But JB does know, he knows football and quarterback, so you got to have some good line. But he knows that's Smitty. You guys,
I ask you this real quick. You're a USC legend. Another guy who people are saying is going to be generational talent. He's got drafted by Chicago Bears, who went to USC, and Caleb Williams. Give us your honest thoughts on Caleb Williams. Do you think he's going to be as great as the people are saying he is, or how do you view him?
I think we're always premature and serious. And now JB doesn't like some of the other stuff. And listen, I don't care if he paints his nails as long as he can make plays. You know, in truth, when he gets deep down to it, do you really care? Now, he's going to have to handle some as locker rooms go, as we all three know, guys giving him a hard time and not being sensitive. If you're willing to put yourself out there and have a little fun with it and be you and be an individual like that has a flair and it's going to do his things his way, you got to be able to go into a locker room and let the players still get on you, and you got to have some self-deprecation about getting, at training camp and all that. But I can tell you this. I think it's absurd that we start comparing guys like we compare too much. We're already talking about, well, he's the next Patrick Mahomes. I know we need fodder for that stuff on our show. We all do, not you guys. But comparisons are everywhere. First of all, here's what I know about it. A dynamic playmaker. Let's talk about on the field. Forget all the other stuff. Questioning, crying with his mom, or what kind of leader he is. I've heard both. I've heard coaches inside that building say he's a great leader, and I've heard people inside or outside the building say they question it. So either way, there's going to be that till we see it on Sundays. The last 2 years, there was no better performer, or at least last year, J.D. Daniels deserved the Heisman. Jaden Daniels, should I say. And we know what kind of year Penix had. But if you combine the last 2 seasons, and this is not USC homework, because JB, I'm as hard on the Trojans as I am on anybody. Just as a playmaker on a team that if they didn't score 40, they had no damn shot to even be in the friggin' game. There's been no better player in college football the last 2 years, period. You could say what you want. He's been the most dynamic football player when you combine his last 2 years in college football. Now, missing throws, leadership, why couldn't he elevate him to it? But he doesn't make any tackles on defense. Do I think he's a hell of a player and a generational type talent? Sure. We say that every year about somebody else. Do I think the Bears are going to be in the Super Bowl in 2 years because of him? No, I think they got a little more work to do.
Our main man is driving his whip, dipping and whipping down the strip.
Dipping and whipping, cognac sipping, money I'm making, ass they shaking. It's time for the legend himself, Alabama's finest, T. Rich Tuesdays. What's up, Trent?
He's one of the funniest cats on the internet. You all just don't pay attention. That's what I'm saying right now. Hey, it is Bama, Georgia weeks, T. Rich. Hey, T. Rich, I got to ask you straight up. Is this a little different? Is this a little different that it's being played during the third week of the season?
That's all I'm gonna say. I ain't got nothing to say.
It's a little blurry. Yeah. Can't see what it say. What it say? One dad duty on dad duty. On dad duty.
Yes, sir. That's all week. That's all week.
Does that mean
built to ass productions all week?
Does that mean you're Georgia's daddy?
We built to ass production all week.
Built to ass productions all week, JB.
Built to ass productions all week.
So you ain't got no nerves coming to you ain't got no nerves coming into this week.
Nah, man. I you know what, man? People don't realize this, right? It's something. Now, I will say this. Now, I say Kirby got a chance going there and to go get that throne to where, like, I'm him now. He got a chance. But it's something about Bama and Kirby. I don't know, was it just Nick? But but I said this last year. If you can beat Kirby with a running quarterback, you can beat Kirby with a slant route, and it's always been like that. Think about the games we done lost at Bama when he was there. Cam Newton. When they lost against
Johnny Manziel.
Johnny Manziel. When they lost against what's the cat with the long hair? I mean, not was he still there at the time? For the Jaguars now?
Trevor Lawrence, Clemson.
Was Trevor Lawrence? Yeah, Trevor Lawrence
and Deshaun Watson.
Deshaun Watson. Think about it now. Like, think about it. Bama. They had when they got a good. I mean, they beat them some slant routes and some, deep balls. When they had when they had I mean, even when they had Tua and Jalen, they were still able to move around, right?
Yep.
I mean, but physically, man to man, I think this is gonna be the best test that both teams, right? Man to man, talent wise, size for size, this is gonna be the test for both teams. Man, but I love Kirby to death, man. And I love what Bama doing, and I think they're still climbing, but this is the real test for them, man. For me, I don't all that stuff before. I know they went to Wisconsin and did what they supposed to do. Cool, right? Supposed to do that, but now you're in the SEC. Let's see where we at now, and it's a different ball game. And I ain't saying it just because I think SEC is the best league conference out there. I'm saying when it's conference play, even when you at Ball State. When you get in that conference play, it's way different. Like everything on the line. Especially now they got the playoffs, right? They got the playoffs. And so now you got to put up, points and you got to win. I mean, I know it ain't the four league playoff. So you got a little bit, leverage on, you can lose one or two. Yeah, you can lose one or two now. But man, I think, man, Georgia gonna go in there. It's gonna be a good game. But I think Bama still gonna come out on top.
Be careful now. You're driving while you're on here, and Georgia has a little reputation right now of players driving. But anyway,
hey, little reputation. I ain't going there with you today, man. I'm not.
In the event that Kirby walks in there and they beat Alabama, will you come on this show next Tuesday and admit that Georgia is now the king of the SEC?
No. I mean, bro, you got to think about it, bro. 2 years ago, we beat them without Nick. Like we Nick was at home with COVID, looking at the TV, looking with the clicker in his hand.
He still was coaching y'all from a distance.
And Nick's still at that stadium too.
So Nick gonna be there. That's Saturday.
Man, I went in there.
Hey, Donald Trump is gonna be there.
Well, they might lose now.
Where's that thumb?
Look at Bailey in the back. Motherfucker love Trump. He's like a WWE wrestler. Shout out to Bailey. I love Bailey. Put that fist down. JB, I told you about that fist. It was funny the first two times. The third time, you might have to get beat up.
We'll see
Put
tomorrow.
That fist down.
We'll be in studio live tomorrow.
We will be in studio tomorrow. I warned you, so we're going to find out.
Hey, T-Rich, what is your thought right now on the NFL transitioning kind of back to a little bit of a kind of what Michigan just did to USC? They're running the football. A lot of guys getting under center. They're going back to running the football. Do you think at the NFL level that the linebacker size being smaller now, having to defend RPO, the Patrick Queens at 215, 220 now aren't filling a gap? And if you get into two-back ice and run some power and some ISO, which we're watching a little bit more, are the running backs in position to get paid again? Is this going to take – are they going to take back the overhyped, overpaid quarterback that is getting outlandish money who's underperforming?
No, that ain't going to happen. I'll be real with you. That ain't – I mean, I think it would be more put on the running back, but as far as us getting paid, they still think that the running back can come along anytime when they can go get somebody else cheaper or go get a rookie. It ain't going to change on that.
We get an 8th rounder. We get a 7th rounder, unrestricted free agent. Yeah.
Yeah, they can go do that at any time. That's how they feel. And that's what it's going to be. And I hate to say that, we got to live with that, but it is what it is, man. But I think when you're talking about a 220 linebacker that's trying to fill the A-gap on me or Derrick Henry or Shaun, what are we talking about? Like I told you, if he won 250 and above, I wasn't watching film on you. I looked at the depth chart every week. If you want 250 and above, I was not watching film on you, bro. Like, I was not worried at all.
It's a waste of time, huh?
And that's just what it is. Like, that's just something I wasn't worried about. Like, because you got to think about it, bro. Like, if you, first of all, I know I'm stronger than you.
Mm-hmm.
Second of all, I'm pretty damn fast. Second of all, and third of all, I'm gonna get lower than you. I'm gonna get lower than you. So you come to meet me in that hole, and I'm going full speed. Like, if Derek coming down here running full speed, man, Derek, I said this. What was it, last show or the show before? Derek can play another 5 years the way the league is going. Derek can play another 5 years the way the league going, because can't nobody hit his big ass. You don't have nobody sitting there to stop him.
Were you surprised? So I'm glad you brought his name up. I know JB's been kind of questioning how the Ravens will be able to like put that offense together with Derrick Henry being a straight line, ISO power type of runner, a guy who kind of needs, the quarterback to be under center, where Lamar, his weak point, you would say, is coming out of center. But this past Sunday, we saw it actually work. He ran the ball extremely well. Derrick Henry, I think he had 2 touchdowns, over 100 yards rushing. Were you surprised to see Derrick Henry come out and had his big time game and see that Ravens offense actually work this Sunday?
No, I was surprised. I wasn't surprised about it, because all he gonna do is call up his brother. Hey, twin, what you doing down there with your running backs to make them to win this game? What you doing? You handing it off underneath the center, going downhill? Oh, you got DK? Okay, you got him. He doing that? Oh, he ain't even big as Derek. Okay, well, if you doing that, guess what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna do the same damn thing.
You talking about Harbaugh? You talking about Harbaugh calling his brother out here in Detroit? I see what you're saying. Yeah. With J.K. Dobbins and with Gus Edwards, they doing out here.
Twin, where have you been? If you can do it, I can do it, twin.
Hey, I think Zimmer in Dallas, T-Rich, has a lot of problems in Dallas Cowboys right now because, like you just said, I saw DBs turning it down. I saw Micah Parsons just trying to get sacks, not really playing the run. He wants to go on a podcast and talk shit about other players on other teams, but he don't worry about his own damn team. That Dallas Cowboy team got problems, and they paid $60 million to Dak, who really $60 million a year.
Jeez. Well, you gotta think about this, man. It starts up top with Dallas, like it's always been. Like until Jerry Jones get out the way, it's gonna be the same. It's gonna be the same thing. Hell, he even got an AI when he died, so it's gonna be like that for a long time. So because they're gonna be getting information from the AI, and he gonna tell them what he want from the gravesite, and that's how it's gonna be.
He gonna have what?
He gonna be telling them what he want from the grave site, and that's how it's gonna be. He got a whole AI to let these guys know when I leave, I ain't leaving. I just jumped out the body. I'm still here in spirit. He gonna become the damn Zelda from Power Rangers, man. You remember the what's the little thing?
What's it called? Zordon? Is it Zordon? Hey, babe, pull those Zordon for Power Rangers, please. We used the picture before, babe. The little white ball head, man. The little ghost. Zordon, pull it up when you get a chance.
I never watched it. I don't know about it, but
oh my god.
Hey, have you seen it? Have you seen Jamie Foxx and Jerry Jones talking about the players? Let's say measurables when drafting them. Have you seen his video? That's going crazy.
I'm gonna say this. I love Jamie. I don't think Jamie was talking about it. That's my guy. I don't think Jamie was talking about it. I think he heard it. He was like, this ain't my type of party.
Wait, you saying it's not a Diddy? It wasn't a Diddy party?
It was a Jerry party. Jerry and Diddy, welcome to Jerry's world. Welcome to Bailey crazy, man.
Trent said it's gonna be Jerry Jones from the afterlife telling them what to do. We need to draft a quarterback in the second round this year, 2048. T-Rich got a problem, man.
I bet you the Simpsons do an episode about this. I bet you the Simpsons do an episode about that.
Hey, I don't get it. Last night's Monday Night Football, man. What are you thinking of Josh Allen right now without Diggs? How he's performing? Addition by subtraction. It seems like he is stress-free out here balling without worrying about feeding a prima donna, high-paid wide receiver. It seems like he's got a bunch of guys that aren't really are nobodies right now, and it's like it's my team for the first time. You seeing that at all?
I think for Josh Allen, man, he's kind of like the Tom Brady, and I'm gonna say that. When I ain't gonna say just like Tom. I'm talking about when it comes to he don't need all the high-paid guys. He just needs somebody that's gonna be able to get some quick routes. You know, some of them guys are gonna be smaller, be quicker. And not saying that anything's wrong with Diggs. I like Diggs as a competitor. But when you kind of see them going back and forth, like that's, it's a distraction to everybody. It's a distraction to the field. It's a distraction to the team. It's a distraction to the fans. Now you get us talking about this stuff, right? But I do think he's stress-free right now, and he's been able to, go in his backyard and play football. And I mean, Diggs still doing his thing, But I do agree with you, man. I think Josh is going to be a great talent for this league, man. They just got to surround him with the pieces that he needs, not the pieces that you think we need to bring in for him.
Hey, we got two things. We don't want to hold you too long. You're driving. We want to get you back to your family safe as always. I got to ask you something. Auburn, Hugh Freeze is in the news, and I know I would love to get a take from an Alabama legend about an Auburn team that shares the same state, which is also another rival. He basically came out and is like taking shots and everybody but himself. And
I'll read it real quick. The quote, JB. I'll read the quote for the audio listener. It says, "I love Sam Pittman and I hope he wins the rest of his games. But I'm telling you that the hard truth is that if we play them 9 more times, we beat them 9 more times. That's what's hard to take."
So we're going on more victories. Like, that's not even a moral victory. Like, you're talking about something that you didn't even win. Like, what we talking about? Like, we can't sit up there and say that we're going to beat them 9 more times if we didn't beat them the first time.
Ooh.
I don't get it. And then his quarterback came out, Bo Wallace, former JUCO player, came out and played for him and said, "Man, I gave you my last, and you treated me like shit, basically." So now players are going against him. He's got some issues in Auburn, man, and I know you ain't worried about that one bit. It's probably music to your ears seeing Auburn struggle. Hugh Freeze, man, who had a decent, beat Nick a couple times when he was at some other places prior, and now look, he's struggling in Auburn, and it seems fitting.
That's what got him that job. You beat Nick, you're gonna get a job anywhere, right?
Yeah.
And so the thing about it is, man, when you're talking about Hugh Freeze, man, like he's always been that guy. Like he's always been the one to point the finger at somebody else. And so you think about this. You think about what Cadillac did down at that program 2 years ago. Kept that team together, gave that team some light. He's not even there no more, bro. He was the assistant head coach after that. They named him the assistant head coach. That's how you know it's crazy, because Cadillac should have had that position, right? Mm-hmm. We all think that. We all know that. But they go to Hugh Freeze, and look what he's doing to the program. And I don't know if Hugh Freeze like that, but I know his pedigree, his background, who he's been around. And I heard some guys be like, "Bro, I don't F with him at all. Like, I don't fuck with that dude at all." Like, and you also
hired a guy from Boise. You guys also, or not you guys, Auburn also hired a guy from Boise damn State to go in there last time before that, and he's also another shyster that I know personally. It's crazy who Auburn's hiring. Like, why don't you hire somebody with some roots? It makes no sense at all, man.
JB, I'm waiting on them to hire us, and I want them to fire us the next day. Because anytime you owe somebody 70 mil, 60 mil,
hell yeah,
and they can just chill at home. Like, they just got done paying Tuberville. Like, they still paying Gene right now. It's crazy.
Yeah, Shizik. He's sitting at the house drinking coffee, like someone said earlier. He's looking at this, smiling. At least I went to a natty. He got the pinky out too.
He won it.
Yeah, and he won it.
Gene
And he got
won
the
it.
pinky out. He got the pinky out, laughing. All right, give us your take. Sorry, Smitty. Give us your
Prediction.
do's and your don'ts. Your do's and your don'ts. And what wins the game this weekend before you get out of here for your Alabama Crimson Tide and how they beat Georgia. Just give us your biggest takeaways on what you think keys to victory will be for the Alabama Crimson Tide.
I think for them, man, to win a game, they got to control that line of scrimmage on both ends. That's first thing first. Receivers got to get open. Jalen got to be able to move around, not to be. He can't be flushed out. He got to be able to move around, and to be Jalen. Like, don't get underneath pressure where Jalen is third and long and he got to do some fancy stuff. Nah, let him play his game from the jump. Don't let that man stay in the pocket like that. Let him be him. Kirby always frustrated when it's somebody can move around. Nick was the same way. He always got frustrated just like that. And I'm telling you from experience. But looking at them, man, like big on big, it's gonna be a tough bout. But at the same time, man, they got a lot of holes in that defense right now, man. If you pay attention to it.
Man, we gonna find out, man. I know we're gonna be locked in watching the game, excited to see it. And good luck.
I got a question
to you.
for y'all, man. I got like what happens to special team, man? Like like kickoff return. Like what are we doing? Like
are you speaking NFL, like the new rules?
Yeah, like what are we doing, man? Like that look like a power play. Like that's all it is.
Yeah,
it's sad. It's hard to watch though.
I ain't got no comments for it. I don't know what they're trying to do. I don't know.
Like you know, when you said kickoff return, that was almost like Smith or queer. Oh, I mean, excuse my language, but throw him up, bust him up. That was almost like, you know what I mean? Like every man for their self type. That's when you can show like what you really got.
Yeah,
you give me the ball, I'm gonna do what I gotta do.
Like you gotta think, we got people like Devin Hester who's going to the Hall of Fame because of this. Imagine if this rule was in play when he was still in the league. You would take away one of the all-time greats of our sport by simply removing the rule. Like that's what you're potentially doing now. We don't know. There could be a Devin Hester 2.0 right now. We have no idea because the rule.
We will never see it.
We'll never see
it. We will
it.
never see it.
And they're claiming it's from safety, but I don't. I mean, how's it keeping them more? I don't know. I don't get it, JB. I was gonna ask you. Like, I can't remember what was the reason why they did this. Was it for safety? Is that what they're claiming?
No, and for me, just stop.
Get more returns. If you want more returns, scoot back then more.
That's what I'm saying. Like, scoot it back.
Just scoot it back.
But the thing is, like, does this take guys out the NFL now because we don't have the special team guys anymore, right? Like, I haven't seen a real return. I mean, I might have seen 2 or 3, but I ain't seen a real return since they started fair catching and moving the ball up to the 35, I think, right? 35, 25, whatever. Like, bro, I ain't seen no real big returns like that.
Nah, it's great. No Dante Halls, no Hesters, no even Cordell Pattersons. There's nobody. I've been telling everybody, but nobody listened to me.
What's my boy that went to for the Seahawks? He used to always get those migraines.
Oh, you talking about
Pervin Hart.
Oh yeah, Percy Harvin. Yeah, just like damn, like crazy. Man.
Be rich, man. Be safe. Enjoy the week.
Good luck this week. You guys, who you guys got this Friday?
Oh, we got Parker, man. Parker got a real good team. They got a real good ball team. There's gonna be a lot of big names, and they've got the #1 cornerback in the nation coming to town. You're gonna be at home. I'm gonna be in the box. I'm gonna be in the sky box. You know, calling. You know, helping calling the play. I'm gonna say calling, but help calling the plays.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, it's gonna be a good one, man, because it's a good chance for our guys that haven't been seen and should be seen to get their name out there. And that's what I'm, preaching to these guys. If y'all want to put y'all name out there, this is the game. Like, y'all need to go off and at least have a decent game. So if y'all make this guy look bad, or y'all make this D lineman look bad, they got a D lineman, bro. He like 6'2", 3-something, can run a 4.6. But he get tired real quick. He give you them short, them third and shorts. He going full speed. First down, But you give him anything you want to get up the middle on short, he coming at you.
Y'all need to run some tempo then early. Get them tired. Get them moving around a little bit. Quick game, left and right.
Screen. Let them retrace. Screen. Get them. Get to the quarterback. Bust that nut and say, and then get that screen out there. Hey, I know you're leaving, T. Rich, but when are you becoming the head coach of that place?
All right, fellas.
That man Wade. On dad duty all week long. Built to ass productions.
Hey, we'll see you next week. Peace.
Right, man. Enjoy your latte. Got that straw. T-Rich is a funny dude, man.
I gotta end it with him every time like that. He got to be the head coach of Hoover. He can't comment, so I fuck with him.
That motherfucker, he's funny, man.
It is.
I'm gonna put in the chat what he said. Oh.
Hey, fellas, got some unfortunate news here. Go ahead and bring it up now. Hall of Fame quarterback Brett Favre announced he's been diagnosed with Parkinson's disease. He announced it in I believe, a testimony in a federal court hearing today.
Huh.
I'm sorry. I'm not laughing at him. I'm laughing with him.
No, I was reading the whole thing. It said the Hall of Famer included the starting revelation in his testimony at the congressional hearing at the Federal Welfare Reform Tuesday. I just was reading everything. Prayers up for his family, and I don't know.
Dear baby Jesus, I think this is a great time.
No, I'm not. Hold on, time out.
This is a great time.
JB's making me. JB smile is like making me chuckle. Has nothing to do with Brett Favre. Like I know the timing seems off. This had nothing to do with Brett Favre. Thoughts of prayer for Brett Favre, his friends, his family. Obviously, this is not a good thing. JB, why you got that look at your face though?
Let's take time, Smitty. Or if I was here, I would hold your hand in a prayer. No Diddy.
Oh shit.
Dear baby Jesus, I would like to pray today and put our heads together and bow in front of everybody and pray for Brett Favre as he was in court, ironically enough, and announced that he has Parkinson's disease. How ironic. Very similar to Derwin James being suspended for the Chiefs game. But what do I know, Lord? I just want to give shout out to Brett Favre. I know he goes on Whitlock here and there, and he is very controversial right now, Lord, as he seems to have stole a lot of money from a broke situation in a broke community in Mississippi. And now he's come into court and says, guess what? Take all eyes off me. I got Parkinson's disease. Lord, may your grace and mercy be with this man and the state of Mississippi and all the funds that were lost and mysteriously disappeared somewhere. But please, Lord, make sure that this man's Parkinson's disease goes away, as I have a feeling it will. Once he beats the case in Mississippi. Lord, please pray with us, and be with us and be with Brett Favre and his family in the state of Mississippi and the welfare organizations that seemingly lost a lot of money. Lord, in your name, Jesus' name, we pray. Amen.
We're definitely on the same page right here.
What?
You and I are on the same page right here.
Oh.
Now, again, I don't know. We got to find more information. But the time, listen, we say it's the realest show on planet Earth. All I'm saying is the timing was weird. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying I'm sure it's true. You don't make something like that up. I'm just saying the timing is just interesting in which he decided to like announce it. That's all I'm saying. But again, nevertheless, I pray he's okay. I pray that, like his family, his friends. I don't know anyone personally with the disease, but I know it's a serious thing. But the timing to say that, to announce that in federal court when you're fighting a case, to me, it comes off of being honest, like you're trying to get some sympathy a little bit. I'm just being honest. I'm not saying that's what he's doing. I'm saying that's an angle that could come off that way. JB, what you doing, JB? JB, we can see your red hat. We can see your red hat a little bit.
Stop it. What?
We can see your red hat when you was doing that.
No, Ash was fucking with me.
He was fucking you. Ash was doing what?
Fuck with me.
Oh, be careful when you words.
Shout out, Callie's gonna go into the knife Sunday.
Damn.
But here's the update on that. It's $4,000 to get surgery. Now Callie can't walk today. And last night it started to show even worse because now she's compensating, and now I hope she may have torn the other leg now. Now it's 2 legs, and you can't give her surgery on both legs. So once Sunday she goes under, they'll look at her other leg. Hopefully it's just sore, not torn. Because I don't know. $8,000, man. See, back in the day, shout out to Peter and everybody. But back in the day in the hood, we had to say, love you, girl. But, it's time to move on.
This dude said, shout out to Peter. Oh, my God. This show is crazy.
But I'm just saying.
Shout out to Peter.
Full circle. Now that I'm okay. I'll pay $8,000 to keep her. That's how nowadays, because that's white people shit now. White people shit now.
I would never.
I got money, Smitty. You know what I'm saying? Here's the thing, Smitty. Let me ask you a real thing. Let's say you got the money. Let's say you got it.
For my kid, yeah.
Put yourself in my position now.
All right, I'm you. All right.
You're with me that I got the money so I can do the $4,000 one, right? Like, okay, but just say you've agreed. Okay, we're gonna.
All right.
We're gonna do the 4. But so let's say you're gonna just put her down for because she tore the other one and not do the other $4,000. So it's $8,000 total. I get it, but you've already spent $4,000. Wouldn't you just spend the other $4,000, or are you gonna wouldn't you just put it down over to $8,000 from the jump and not do either leg?
Okay, but my question is, okay, so like let's say something is wrong with her front paw now. You gonna do $12,000 now because you did 8? When does it fucking stop? What's the line, homie? Like if that's the argument, what's the line?
Paul's not surgery though. Listen,
you sprain that wrist.
It's not her hip. It's a good thing. She can recover from a surgery on the ACL. Dr. Morse will tell you. So it is what it is.
On dogs.
But listen, I got insurance. I got dog insurance.
Bro, don't let me. You ain't got to sell me. Do you? Like, listen, it all comes down to how much.
I'm not worried about what anyone thinks.
I'm saying it comes down to how much does she matter to you, and obviously she matters to you a lot. Like you look at your dogs like your kids almost, which is cool. So if that's the case, then cool do you. As a black man,
but I am going to get another one. But I am going to get another dog just in case. But anyway, let's move on. Let's get. I am going to get another shout out to Gatorhead Bullies, where I get all of my baby bullies. We will get another girl for Ash because Ash ain't had no pussy yet.
He horny in the motherfucker too. That's why when I walk in, he jump all on me and shit. He needs some he needs to calm his ass down. Some cat. You know what? That's what it is. He needs some pussy. That's gonna mature him. That's gonna calm him down.
And I gotta lose Callie got to lose some weight.
He's in heat.
Callie's heavy. Callie got to lose some weight. That's another thing about on her leg. You know what I mean? But as long as it ain't her hip. See, when it becomes a hip on a dog, then you got to really start thinking about putting them down because the hip is different. Her hips are fine. Got X-ray, got MRI, all that stuff.
Would you cry probably if he like you? Never mind. I don't want to talk about that.
I cried with Stogie. I cried with Stogie because
that's different. Stogie is Stogie. That's different.
Yeah, and I put him down in my arms. Like I cried harder with Stogie than I did my own dad. And I put them both down.
Damn.
Crazy, ain't it?
It's interesting, yeah. Shout out to your dogs, man. Like I can't, like I said.
I'll save a dog over a human 1,000 times out of 1,000 times.
Let me ask you this real quick. I got a great scenario. All right, boom. I'm for whatever reason, bro. You get a call. I'm held hostage in one building. Ash is held hostage in another building. You get a call. It said you got enough time to save either Ash or Big Smitty. You choose one right now. You got 10 minutes. I'm going to send you the address to both. You got time to save either Big Smitty, your co-host, your brother, a guy who's been having your back, who stuck by your side through all the ups and downs, the craziness, the highs and lows, or your dog who you nurtured and groomed and trained, who's with you every single day. You can only save one. Which address are you going to and who are you saving, JB? The people want to know and I want to know. This will determine the direction of our show as we move forward. Oh.
What's up, Papa? What's up, Baba? You okay?
Wow.
All right, go lay down. Hey, Smitty. Hey, a picture's worth 1,000 words. I just want to throw that out there. Sometimes people don't realize that. I will not incriminate myself on my show either, on this show. But, you know, we love Big Smitty here. We love Big Smitty here, guys. So make sure you guys pound that like, subscribe, become a member. We've had 1,600 people in here today. Unbelievable. Shout out to Brett Favre. Let's get into our top of the world, Bailey. T's and P's to Big Smitty out there. Everybody seems to. Whoo, shit. I can't believe we got to do the top of the world right now. Let's bring it in, Bailey. Whoever's you want.
Shitty ass list. Hate this list. Every team on here, every name makes no sense.
Let's get into my top 5. Let's start with the 5 spot. Buffalo going in, beating your undefeated Northern Illinois, who beat Notre Dame. Shout out to Buffalo and getting a win. Utah going to Stillwater, beating an explosive offense in Oklahoma State. BYU shutting down a good Kansas State team. BYU looks like the real deal. BYU, by the way, plays Baylor this week. Watch that ass whipping. Number 2, James Madison beating UNC, putting 70 burger on them, 700 yards. And number 1, I keep it real, Travis Hunter won the football game for Colorado. Best player in college football. I call it what it is. I call it square, and a circle. Always going to keep it a buck. Travis Hunter, my top performer of the week. Smitty's turn. Go ahead. I know you're disgruntled and you got to get through it. Life hits us sometimes. You got to get through this tough time right now. Let's dive into Big Smitty's. The Big Smitty's top 5.
One quick note, though. I want to shout out. I want to shout out Buffalo from your list.
I knew you were down.
Shout out Buffalo. I want to shout out Buffalo. I want to shout out Buffalo from your list. My former head coach Pete Limbo is the head coach of Buffalo. They're number 1 in the MAC. So I got to shout out.
For you. You want me to do your list for you since you're down a little bit?
Yeah, do my list for me, bro.
Number 5, Arch Manning for Smitty. He says he came in. I thought I wouldn't have put Arch Manning on there because Arch Manning threw 2 picks. But listen, he got a C average.
Start, bro.
C grade to me. 4, Tennessee. Tennessee beating Oklahoma. I like that pick. James Madison, of course, Colorado. I don't get that one. But anyway, Colorado's on there. And then Michigan. Michigan beating SC, coming off a loss, getting beat down by Texas. That's Smitty's take on that one. They ran the football. If I were Smitty, this is Smitty. Michigan goes in there. They don't throw the ball 32 yards, y'all. 32 yards. And they went in there and they ran that football. And then at 296 yards, SC just couldn't stop them. Michigan, my number 1 overall pick. Shout out to all my guys on the list. Colorado, you guys beat Baylor. You guys won the game. Baylor did not lose them, contrary to belief JB's take. This is the Colorado team that we thought they would be. The same record as last year, but guess what? They're still going to be good and the best team. And then James Madison going in there, beating UNC. This is not watered down. This is supposed to happen. This is what it is. And then Tennessee going in there and Nico throwing the ball around the park, beating Oklahoma like they did. And then Arch Manning. He's a Manning family guy. I'm a Colts homer. And Arch Manning is the best Manning of all of them. Mark my words, because Smitty says so.
That was shitty. That was horrible. Hey, fuck all that. I gotta ask the chat. What would y'all do if one of your homeboys, your brothers or your sisters, somebody who you thought you was rocking with, told you they would save their fucking pet, their goldfish, over you? They would save their fucking dog, who has a short shelf life anyway on this earth. They got 10 years max anyway. And they say they gonna save their fucking dog over you.
2 things can be true.
I'm just curious of I want the chat. TJ Too Nasty, Josh Fele. I want Chris. I want OG Vincent, Kung Fu Hillbilly, all y'all. Tell me if your friend who you thought was your friend, your brother, said they would save their fucking 4-legged animal with 2 ACL torn, they would save that over you. I'm just curious. I'm just curious.
Two things can be true, right, guys?
Who taught you that? Who taught you that, homie? Look at this chat. This chat is unbelievable. This was my test just to see like how many homers you got. I'm saving the dog. What the fuck? Look at this. Dogs are family.
He black too.
I do the same, but he ain't black. He JB black. Look at this.
Is he? What are you saying? He's Bailey?
No. Well, I mean, no, I'm saying he's JB. You have a cult following, JB, where it don't matter if they black, orange, blue, or green. If they love you, whatever you say, they're agreeing with. I want you to test this theory one day. We gonna talk offline one day, and I'm gonna have you say some bullshit like on a random Wednesday, and watch how so many people in this chat will be like, hell yeah. It's gonna be a test. You have a cult-like following. You could cause a riot today. You have that power.
Hey, speaking of hell yeah, let's do some hell yeah, hell no real quick, and then we'll dive into some other topics. We got good breakup.
Hell yeah, hell no is how we end the show. We're not doing that right now. I'm jumping in and give us 10 minutes, then we'll do hell yeah, hell no. We have other topics that our great producer Bailey has prepared for us to do, and we're gonna jump straight into that. Bailey, throw a topic up in here. We're gonna just freestyle. Whatever you throw, we're gonna talk about right now. That's how I do it on my show.
You text earlier and say you didn't like the topics.
Derwin James has been suspended for one game for repeatedly breaking player safety rules, including in Sunday's game against the Steelers. You opened up your show about this, but we didn't really dive into it fully. To me, this is just a football play. I don't understand what the expectations are. How do they expect a defensive player to, within less than a second, less than like a half a second, be able to react, move their head to the side perfectly? Like this is a bang bang play. I'm trying to get this cat down. He didn't lunge with his head. He didn't put his. This is a great form tackle. He wrapped up. He led with his shoulder. Your helmet's going to make contact, guys. That's part of football. As a D lineman, JB, I use my helmet as a part of my bull rush. When I would like the front of my helmet would go into your chest.
Isn't that happening at the line of scrimmage every play?
Every single damn play. Every single play. Literally. It's part of the process. So like now they're trying to overcorrect. Now it's like if they just see your helmet touching them, it's a penalty. And now they're suspending them before one of the biggest games. It's a divisional game. Like AFC West, you're going to the Chiefs. This is BS. This is BS. I don't agree with it.
The guy he hit is a lot bigger than him, too. Can we talk about all the different scenarios of why this is so pussy? And by the way, everybody out there is saying he's a big piece, but he's not the reason they're going to win or lose. Do we know that Joe Alt's going to be out and their other best tackles out and they're hurt, and Joe and Herbert, their quarterback, may be out? Can we talk about that too? So maybe it's a fucking perfect scenario for the Kansas City Chiefs to get another win. Like, come on, man. Miss me with the bullshit. God damn. I think it's pussy. It's a pussification of the NFL. This is what it is. I'm just over it, dog. I'm over
it. Pussy. Hey, baby, what was that movie?
Boomerang. I'm blacker than you. I'm
so proud of you, man.
I know more.
You just got a little bit of like a little blackness added to your resume right there.
I'm already way more hood than you. So
I'm proud of you. You seen Boomerang, JB?
I live Boomerang.
You ain't live Boomerang, homie. This dude
my damn cat. Where is that pussy cat? Where is my cat? Kitty. I lost my pussy cat.
Pussy. Eddie don't know what we talking about right now. He's so confused.
It was the dinner scene. Eddie Murphy had to look for his cat because there was a bunch of white folks in there and they didn't want to hear that.
Yeah.
You imagine the stank on her.
Oh, man. Because Eddie was trying to find a perfect girl, a perfect woman. And if their feet wasn't pretty, then he couldn't. That wasn't the one. He finally found it, and she played him. So make sure y'all Strong J. Make sure y'all go back and watch Marcus.
Shout out to her, by the way. She was before her time. She was the Lisa Leslie. She was a long, dark sister, model forever. She was a lot older in that movie, but back in the day when she was in some movie, she was she was like a Naomi Campbell-ish.
Marcus.
Even they know Naomi Campbell is the leading, she's on the Epstein list more than anybody, but Naomi Campbell, shout out.
All y'all young people, man, make sure y'all go back and watch. And there's a lot of 16-year-olds in here who's in the basement. Go back and do your homework.
Grace Jones is her name. If you guys don't know, Grace Jones was the person we're talking about. But anyway, shout out to her. Shout out to Holly Berry, Robin Givens, the
Robin Givens. Hey, Robin Givens was
the estranged ex-wife who lied on Mike Tyson.
Mike Tyson. Two things can be true though. Robin Givens was a baddie. And hold on, I don't agree with what he just said. I just know. I gotta be careful with my words. Sometimes I let JB say stuff and I kind of just chime in and kind of move on. I'm not agreeing with nothing he just said because I don't know. I didn't do my homework. All I know is she was a baddie. Oh, when she walked into the house and took her robe off, that raincoat, took that raincoat off, and was that hink. Woo! Do your homework, y'all.
Robin Givens lied on Mike Tyson. Let me ask you something. Why is it when we're trying to get at y'all females when y'all are fine, y'all big time us and shine us on and give us the cold shoulder, but then when you guys turn and look like hammered dog shit like Vivica Fox does now all of a sudden she want to date? Can I ask all y'all women that when y'all are fine and work at Burger King and we roll up to Burger King and we'll still holler at you? But if it's in your car and you roll up to Burger King and see Smitty dishing out burgers, you won't holler at him. But in 30 years, when you look like hammered shit, now all of a sudden you're willing to date. I'm gonna throw it out there, Smitty. I know it ain't Free Game Friday, but I want to ask the females, why is that, homie?
It's because they know where they're at and what level they're at now in their life and their career.
Vivica Fox is a fucking sham artist. She's doing this low-budget ass commercial with Ice-T right now. She looked like fucking Dolomite.
She's from Indiana, so relax. She went to Arlington High School.
Where's she from?
She went to Arlington. Relax.
She used to date our homeboy. We used to play hoop with a guy named 6'9" because he was 6'9".
Yeah, that's the homie. Yeah.
She used to date him back in the day. She dated him for like 1 month, and then she got out because he was broke. That's fact.
But that's the thing. Men are here to provide and protect. So if we're not providing, which means we ain't got the money, then women is not interested in us. We as men, we want women to nurture, but at the end of the day, we want them to look good and give us that cat. If they don't look good and they ain't giving us that cat, we not interested. That just call it what it is. That's a foundational thing. So to answer your question, if a woman is she at Burger King, she's working at Burger King, a dude don't give a fuck she at Burger King or she at fucking the CEO of a company. If she bad, and he gonna save her. If it's vice versa, it's flip. If they be at Burger King, the woman looking like, hell no, this little broke bun ain't got no money. I ain't about to give none of this.
You're not saving no girl that's a CEO of a Fortune 500. She's not even hollering at you.
Not saving. You know what I mean? You missed my point, though. My bigger point is we don't care what their job is. If they look good, they bad, we hollering.
Because pussy's undefeated.
Thank you. We saying the same thing.
I what do you mean? I've been saying that. That's what I'm saying. But the girl on her side is the question I'm asking. She's not hollering at you if she's a CEO. You're beneath her. But then in 30 years, she holler at you.
Because she ain't got no choice. Because now.
Well, now fuck all that. Oh, well, I got choices, though. Guess what I'm doing?
Exactly.
I'm going younger now.
Exactly. That's the point. Like that.
I'm going to go younger now.
That's what happens. That's literally what happens. The thing shifts.
Since we're talking about this real quick, it's off topic. I know we got to get a couple topics before we do that.
Huh?
Don't worry about it. Let me ask something. Bryce, these broads, homie. I'm telling y'all right now.
Oh, damn. I may better say.
Listen.
Damn.
Bryce Young's broad was fucking with Shador Sanders because he got an NIL deal. Now he's fucking with Tyrese Maxey because he got a big deal and shitted on Bryce Young when this motherfucker got benched. Come on. Why? What's cracking? This is what the females are like nowadays, homie. God damn. That's why I'm single. That's why I save Ash and Callie's life over any of y'all. This is what I do. And I'm just telling you, Bryce Young, T's and P's, but she's a gold digger. And we need to play that song.
I ain't saying she a gold digger. But listen, JB, all I'm saying is this, JB. Don't let your fear of possibly being played remove one of the greatest things that this world can offer, and that's true love. Because there are women out here who really love you for real.
Okay, but listen, I was about to go where Cher Chris is going.
Okay.
Tyrese Maxey should be ashamed of him, motherfucking self. Shador Sanders or Bryce Young, whoever had her first, should be ashamed of his motherfucking self. You all knew who she was dating. It's public record now with social media. I blame the man too. Don't get it twisted. But the girl's doing it for a reason. The guy knew what she was and where she was. And don't now go ask. Don't cry over spilled milk, gentlemen. You knew what she was.
Right.
And y'all to fuck with her blows my mind too, dog.
Why do people, to that point, why do Hollywood people and athletes, why do they mess with the same 15 to 20 women in the same circle?
I know why. And
why?
I learned it from being around these people like Michael Rappaport and Ice Cube and getting the game.
Yeah.
It's crazy. And I always like Derek Fisher, Matt Barnes, right? Everybody has the same broads.
Is it like a safety thing where like feel like they know these women won't say certain things? They know the rules. They ain't got to worry about. There you go.
It's a circle safety thing. And they told me it straight up. This is the safety net. They can't go out with the average Joe. No offense to any average Joe. I'm an average Joe. Smitty's average Joe.
I'm a little above average, but yeah, I got you.
Yeah, I'm below average.
Yeah,
I think that it's a safety circle. And I've been told this as well. They won't go out their comfort. They won't go just randomly meet a girl. Now, occasionally, but
it's risky.
Even Nipsey with your guy, like London.
Lauren London?
Lauren London.
But that was like way, like that was like.
I still though, Smitty.
That wasn't no back to back. That wasn't no like, that was different.
It's still in the
and they were like together. That was serious. Okay. That's a bad example.
I can go down the list. Russell Wilson, Ciara.
What you mean?
Who was she with?
She was with Future.
Okay, well, you acting like these guys are regular Joes.
That's it. Like well now you're putting like Sierra in the same category as like this shorty who used to date Shador. Like that you can't. Sierra.
They're all public figures, Smitty. They're all fucking public figures. You're acting like the Ciara was dating you. What do you mean? It's my point, homie. I can go down the list. Let's keep going. You want to keep going? Look at all the women, the Kardashians. Who they date? Average Joes?
Why do you laugh like that, JP?
Come on, homie. Go down the list. Tell me who, abroad that's a famous one, has just went out and searched out a random Joe walking in the mall.
Oprah.
Oprah's on Epstein Island.
What they got to do with the dude she dating?
Well, we don't know because she's fucking with all this child trafficking shit.
Baby.
Who else?
I asked JB before you came home. I said, if you had the option, you only save one.
Pippen Jordan.
If I was handicapped.
Pippen Jordan. Mariah Carey. Fucking Katy Perry. Fucking look at all these broads.
I mean, JB, think about it, JB. If you rich, though, you're not going to go just date a bum, respectfully.
And Maya Moore married a cat out of jail. Cheer, Chris. Shout out to her.
She's the one example. She ended her career for this man.
She was doing that for PR, though.
She's still with him.
No, she's not.
I saw him on the sideline. She got her jersey retired in Minnesota. I just saw it, homie.
She's cheating on him, though. Amber Rose, Janet Jackson. I mean, everybody knows. They're all in there.
All I'm saying is this. I asked JB 30 minutes ago before you came home if he could only save one between me and his dog. Like, he get a call, I'm kidnapped, his dog kidnapped. He gives both our addresses, only got time to save one. This motherfucker say he gonna save his dog. I thought this was my homie.
Yeah, but most of Americans don't give a fuck about humans like that. They care about
Thank you. Real one. Smitty got a real one over there. Shout out to Detroit. 313. Shout out to Detroit. We don't give a fuck.
They're gonna say that, dog.
And that ain't no white people shit either. I know brothers that do the same shit. Stop.
Nah, not over there, homie, though.
Yeah, they will.
We love one thing about black people, we love hard. Keep it funky.
You know what it is? Y'all put too much credit and too much trust in your homie. You don't know the difference. You don't know the difference between your homie, your partner, and your acquaintance.
A dog will bite your ass too, though.
No, they won't.
Shit, bullshit. Ash bit me last time I was home. Ash bit me.
That's love.
Shit. All right. When the homie stabbing you in your back, that's love, motherfucker. If that's the case.
No, that's mean. I turn around and find out who stabbed me in the back.
We're going to end the show with some hell yeah, hell no, man. Brought to you by First Round Performance. Go get your gear. We're going to showcase that here this week. First one, hell yeah or hell no. Justin Fields will be the full-time starter in Pittsburgh this season.
Hell yeah.
I agree. Hell yeah.
I think they trade Ciara's boyfriend. I think they trade him.
All right, next one.
Future in your front.
We got a deal. All right, next one. Hell yeah or hell no. Bengals will miss the playoffs this season. Woo.
Hold on real quick.
I'm gonna say hell yeah, because they're gonna win this next game, but then they got the Ravens. They're gonna be 1-4 in week 5.
I'm gonna break this down real quick because I want to look at the AFC real quick. You got Kansas City. You got the Chargers, Kansas City. Raiders are out in my opinion. Denver's out in my opinion. I think the Chargers and Kansas City will have a shot at getting in. Jacksonville, the Colts, the Texans. So the Texans get in, Jags, Colts out, and Tennessee out. Okay. East, Jets, New England's out, Dolphins out, Bills. Jets, Bills right now. Kansas City, that's 3 for sure. Possible
Chiefs, Jets, Bills.
Possible Chargers. Then we go to the North, black and blue. Pittsburgh's going to get in. Mike Tomlin's just a known guy to get in the playoffs. We got to go with the stats and the records. Yep. This guy is a winner. He's going to get in. Browns out.
Baltimore. Come on.
Baltimore and Cincinnati to me are
Baltimore, JB. Stop.
They're on the fringe. They're on the fringe.
JB.
They're on the fringe, dog.
JB.
So listen, let's say.
Not bullshit, man.
No, but I'm telling you, listen. That's only what? 5 teams?
5 teams.
So that's what I'm saying. It's going to be a really, really mediocre AFC this year as far as record goes. So you're going to get 8 teams. You're going to get Baltimore, possibly the Bengals, possibly another team in the East, maybe in a Miami sneaks in there, or on the West, maybe the Chargers are for sure a shot. I don't know.
Marco sneak in.
They have no quarterback though.
No, Knicks balled out last week.
Yeah, I don't think Denver's that good though. I think that's just that's just a thing. All right,
2 more. Hell yeah or hell no. 3 more actually. Jaden Daniels will win Offensive Rookie of the Year this season. Yeah, hell yeah. No, you know what? Malik Neighbors might win Offensive Rookie actually.
Nah, they'll get to a quarterback.
Quarterback. Hell yeah. Hell yeah, hell no. The Indianapolis school, you kind of just answered this one, but I'll say it anyway for Bailey. The Indianapolis coach will miss the playoffs this season.
Hell yeah.
Hell no, I disagree. I think they'll sneak in and get a wild card. And then last one, hell yeah or hell no. Another one for Bailey. The Seahawks will win the NFC West. Hell no. It's a fluke.
Bailey mad.
Everything Seattle is shitty. Hey, I love when he's like, I can't read lips. I don't know what the fuck you're saying.
Bailey, come in and tell him what you were saying.
What's wrong with me, bro? This is a fucking question.
Baby in the back, I don't know what he be saying in the back. That should be funny as hell, though. Because look, Bailey will turn his camera off and then he turns it back on, and all I see is this.
I'm like, yeah, that's how it be. Yeah, that's how it be. It's a real show. But no, these are just normal questions, bro. Yeah, the Colts probably gonna miss the playoffs. No way the Seahawks win the NFC.
Why you ask a Will Levis question, homie? It's all good. But that's all we got, man. Hell yeah, hell no. Brought to you by First Round Performance.
Hey, let me ask you a question. Will the 49ers make the playoffs? By the way, they've lost 2 in a row. They got a overhyped head coach that chokes away more games than he's won, and they are injured as hell. Them and the Rams, bro, are on a bad collision of injuries that could not get out. They may not be able to get out of their own way. Either team. I'm telling you right now, with the resurgence of Minnesota and the Packers and the Seattle Seahawks.
I don't believe in them yet.
Okay, and then you got Detroit still. There's 3 teams in the North.
Green Bay.
Seattle in the West because of their record.
Green Bay.
Yeah, the 3 teams in the North.
Oh, you right there? I'm sorry, my fault.
So 3 teams in the North. Seattle. because the way it's playing out right now, even though they may not be better than the Niners or the Rams at the end of the year, they may be the team in position to get in that playoff spot. And then you look around the league, Tampa, Atlanta, or New Orleans, probably two of those teams. And then are the Eagles, Cowboys, is Washington better than we think? And is the Giants now on a run? I'm telling you. Hey, mark my words.
Hey, if the Giants make the playoffs, homie.
Hey, mark my words, though. Listen, you want to hear a hot take? You want to hear a hot take?
If the Giants make the playoffs, homie, I'll let you punch me in my fucking nose at the end of the season.
Can I give you
on
a hot
live
take?
camera?
Can I give you a hot take?
Yep.
The Giants are going to beat the Cowboys Thursday night. You know why, Smitty? Short turnaround. Zimmer hasn't figured out the defense, and the Giants are
they ain't got no running game though.
It don't matter. They're figuring out how to get the ball to Malik Neighbors. Cowboys can't stop nothing, and short turnaround.
Mike is gonna have a field day.
Who?
Mike is gonna have a breakout game this Thursday. I guarantee it. 2+ sacks.
He'll be
2+ sacks.
He'll be too busy podcasting. We'll get through it. Girl, you smell good. Ash, you smell good. All right, that's it. Let's dive into it.
Ain't diving in none. It's 9:02. I'm about to leave. I got a meeting to go to at Fox. So, any closing thoughts? Say it right now. This is it.
We got to meet with Paris.
I'll do it on the phone when I'm in the car.
Saints are a very good team. And CJ Gardner-Johnson said they're pretenders. They're not. They ain't no contenders. They're pretenders. And they have Derek Carr. Remember that. I don't know who CJ Gardner think he is.
Micah, shut up.
We're going to talk about that a little bit tomorrow. It's a cliffhanger right there.
I'm going to start the show off with that tomorrow. Tomorrow, Work Boot Wednesday, will be in the studio. Pound that like, subscribe, become a member. Subscribe to all our sponsorships. And you know the promo codes already. I expect everyone in this chat to go right over there and dive into Winnable, Skybox, Bet Online, Prize Picks, first round performance, 5-hour energy, even though they haven't given us a deal. All of those and more on the realest show on planet Earth. We'll see you tomorrow. Much love. Peace.
Issues get pressed so fast you don't get sacked like bags and baggage. Smitty and Jason Brown, kill the ass a rap.